cancel culture is about canceling.
Up yours. Woke moralists. Up yours.
Systematic bullying that's happening.
And they believe that
Cocaína.
But it's the wax that the Terminator X spun. Now they got me in a cell cause my records they sell. Cause a brother like me said, well,
born like this, it's born like this, immaculate conception. I transform like this, perform like this, which yells you a new weapon. I don't contemplate, I meditate, then off your head. This that puts against the bed. This that I got realness, I just push, cause it's in my DNA. I got millions, I got riches building in my DNA. I got gunk, I got evil that rot inside my DNA. I got off, I got trouble, some heart inside my DNA.
They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stop Ben Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stop Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like
We'll see who cancels who.
they want you to comply.
Hello.
Hey, Ben.
Look at who's here.
What a lineup. What a
lineup. Ben and Olay.
Yes.
And we're right on time, so the chat is very, very thankful and not complaining. You're welcome for being on time, chat. We're always late.
It's not possible to be late on this show because we're all late to begin with. Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of late, I'm filling in for Rebecca tonight. My girl has been working OD. She's resting. She was traveling. She was doing a million things. Right. No, you won't get Rebecca, but you got me.
All right. Okay. We'll accept it. Yeah.
Yeah, you got me and Ben. It's basically that makes sense. Like we would be the fill-ins for Rebecca. That makes sense.
You know, that would be true. Shout out, how are you? First of all, how is everybody? Thank y'all for letting me come on and crash the party. I was
thank you for coming on.
Myself on. It's good to see y'all.
Anytime.
When Ben reaches out and he's like, "You guys want to talk tonight about what's going on?" And I'm like, do I want to talk to Ben Dixon? Of course I do. Yeah, you can come on the show.
You guys know how to make a man feel good. I appreciate that. Olay, it's been so long since I've seen you and talked with you. Queen, how are you?
Listen, we have to change that. Come on, Illuminati Politics next week. I'll make Aaron email you so we can talk about all that people are talking about around the black vote and Zohran. Yes, we must discuss.
They're mad about that, aren't they?
They're getting on my nerves. They're getting on my nerves. I'll have Aaron email you.
Count me in.
Oh, look who's joining late. Look who's decided to
drop.
David.
I am never the late one, but today I had some family stuff that fed right in. But I'm here now. Not too bad, not too late.
Yeah,
this is a good lineup.
How's everybody?
Very good lineup.
Yeah, we have this is a great guest lineup today.
Yeah.
David, good to see you.
Ariana will be back probably.
Great to see you.
Yeah. Ariana heard we were talking about a Muslim socialist today, and she was like, "I have no interest. I'm out. I'm out.
Mm-hmm. We're trying to convince her to stop with her like Islamophobia, but she's like not heeding our calls, and it's really frustrating to me as an atheist that she's so intolerant.
Right. I had to sit her down and explain why she shouldn't support Trump attacking Iran, and she just didn't understand why that was bad. Yeah. It's just...
There's no getting through to the kids nowadays, right? We're all millennials. She is a Zoomer, so we're working on it, you know. Zoomers did go for Trump this last election, a large portion. And Ariana was one of them. I'm just kidding. We love Ariana. She's taking a little bit more time.
We're just joking around. But speaking of the Zoomers and the millennials, boy, did we turn out in New York City this past Tuesday. My God. People have been saying, you know, the for how long now? I think like it really was like the Bernie Sanders sort of idea of how progressives would win was that young people would come out in droves And on a national level, he was never able to really do that. While he would get the young vote, he wasn't able to get out the numbers he would say he would need to ascend to victory. But then you look at these numbers in New York City this past Tuesday. Oh my God, the early vote was far and away dominated by people under the age of 40, specifically between the ages, I think, of 25 and 35 or 36 or something like that. It was they outvoted the early vote, the youth vote, Zoomers and millennials.
I think I love that you keep like including millennials and ourselves. I love that you said 25 to 35, like the people who are actually the youth would consider that. That's so funny to me. It's like we're talking about our demographic. It's like, oh, the youth. No, you mean
that's
not.
What is youth these days?
When it comes to
it's us,
elections,
Ben.
Yeah,
it's us.
I feel young.
That's the youth vote.
I see the delusion, and I want audience just know that I know
that you see the delusion.
I know where I'm at. Like, I'm an adult
still a young
who is not old, but I am not the youth.
Well, speak for yourself, Olay. I am definitely the youth. Okay. I don't use just for men. I'm
We're
young.
the youth of tomorrow, okay? We're the future of America right here. My 38-year-old ass is the future of America, okay?
Actually,
look at that.
considering how
Zoomers and
old we all
millennials.
are, there's a serious lack of grays here. Like, we actually do look pretty young for our ages, so, you know.
I've got the feeling I might be the oldest person on the panel. I'm feeling a little bit like an elf.
You and Lance, you might be shocked.
Yeah, I'm right there.
Like
I'm a millennial,
50s, right?
I'm a millennial by like a couple of weeks. I'm right there on the board of millennial and Gen X. So I'm 45.
Well, you know what? I view anyone who's a millennial as part of the youth of America. So you're part of it, Ben.
Yeah, I'm the elder millennial. There you go.
Y'all so funny.
So I'm so curious because I think you all know I have been thoroughly black-pilled. So on the day of the election, I was in the shittiest mood because I was prepared to be disappointed, and I planned out the video that I was gonna do when the results came in, and just shredding liberals. They're like, "Fuck you! If you voted for Cuomo, fuck you! I hope you die! I will never forgive you!" Like, I was ready to breathe fire, and then when I logged on, I see the results. I'm like, maybe there is a God. What?
Right? I was.
Excuse me. Like I was almost like stunned, like somebody had fragged me. Like it was insane.
I was cautiously optimistic, but I would say about an hour before the results, the polls closed, I was thinking to myself, like, you know what? This I don't know if I could take another L. If we lose today, I think I'm checking out for a bit. I don't know if I could continue.
I already took it before we got the win.
Been taking an L since 2016. I don't know how many L's I could take.
That's why I was ready for it. I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, like y'all won't get me. I was not going to in any way be at all, even a little bit hurt or surprised or disappointed or anything if Zohran lost. I'd have been like, yep, that seems about right. Seems about right. But what he said, what I was stunned about is like I wouldn't have been upset about the loss, but the win shock. I was like, wow. We never win shit. This I know because I've never felt this way before.
That GIF you posted, Ole, of this is what it feels like to win, that struck to the core of my soul.
I was like, I could not process it. I was walking from room to room like, no, you lying. Like,
I was refreshing. So people who don't know, like, if you were really following the New York election, like on a local level with like people who were following it, and I'm sure maybe some of you were, but I'm sure Ole might be the other person in here who was. Like, I knew where to check what areas, because I was looking at the district by district map as the results were coming in. And I knew where to look to sort of get an idea of how it was going. And I will say, like, when the early votes dropped first and Zohran was in the lead, I was like, okay. Because I was seeing some local analysts who I trusted say, like, a good result would put Zohran 10% in the lead just from the early votes, because that's going to be overwhelmingly for Zohran. I believe when the early votes dropped, he was 9.1% in the lead. So I was like, oh, that's not that 10%, but let's see. And then all those same analysts were saying, but as the election day vote comes in, Cuomo is going to close that gap. So I was checking for the areas, the Bronx, certain areas in Southeast Queens, Staten Island, for example. I was looking to see where that Cuomo vote was going to come. And the results, 10% came in, 15% came in, 20% came in. And Cuomo was never closing the gap. And he would get more votes, and maybe he would gain like a 0.01 percentage point, but that wasn't what I was told to expect. And then I looked at like the Staten Island breakdown, and only 2,000 votes were separating them. And I'm like, holy shit, he's going to do it. This is it. He's going to pull it off.
And then the internet became the happiest place since like Henry Kissinger died for like 24 hours.
We waited for that man to die for so many years. It was like every year since Twitter has been Twitter, we were counting down to the day he died. And I think you're right. I think that's the kind of joy we felt Tuesday night. Yeah.
Maybe it's because I wasn't paying too close attention, but I was like weirdly optimistic. Like I wasn't really, but the weird thing with me is like once he won, my thought was, okay, it's not over because the general election.
And
what are they going to do? I thought about India Walton in Buffalo. Like that's where my mind went immediately.
That's exactly what
that still traumatized me.
And that's exactly, and you should be thinking about it because it very much so is not over. They're about to carry on. You see, Eric Adams has pretty much launched him a little Republican. He's running as a hard Republican basically now. He might as well go fucking take Sliwa out and snuff him. Like, but he's all on Fox News, Newsmax all day. Like he's gonna run a Republican campaign. There's still like the jury's still like what's his name? Cuomo hasn't like withdrawn from the race. It doesn't seem like he's going to. Whether or not he's running this campaign, is to be seen. But I am prepared for them to run the most racist, divisive, inflammatory, xenophobic, nut ass stuff. So it's very important. I think, yes, he this is amazing that he won this primary. Absolutely fucking amazing. But it does not count those other people out. And we have to take into consideration all the absolute racists, Republicans, liberals, all the folk or whatever who are very like, and I see them. They're coming out with bullshit. The narratives have started overnight on what they're saying. Like they're suddenly popping up on my comments like, oh, well, Zohran's avoiding black outlets and he's not reaching out. I'm like, me. And so first of all,
Exactly.
It was on my black platform, a bunch of other black platforms, like a shit ton other. And it's interesting seeing people try to attribute right now, like try to use the fact that Cuomo had such a high vote of black people in New York as an attack on Zohran, as if to suggest that he's anti-black. It's funny, they're playing into just general racism, being like, oh, Asian people, Indian people are racist, don't like black people, and so therefore we're going to just say that this man is racist. And now they're saying, oh, because black people didn't vote for him, that's because his campaign is racist and they've avoided black outlets and they haven't all this. And I'm like, no. That's because Cuomo name recognition go way, way, way back. Absolutely way back, and they and people don't know that. They don't know. They know Cuomo. They know him from not just the fact that the man was governor, but I'm like, the man daddy was governor too. So there's also that, and the fact that like an older black voting base are more moderate. That's what it is, So there are
that's
other things.
That's what the polls show too, right? Like younger black people were his highest level of support.
The millennial and Gen Z black voters were overwhelmingly for Zohran.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is. And they don't take that into
part of the campaign to split everyone against each other, right? Like as long as everyone is fighting against each other, we're not actually fighting people with power. We're all just arguing within all these other oppressed and marginalized groups, right? It's all by design. Right. You see it every fucking time. And sometimes I feel like people on the internet are just doing that shit for free. Like I can't even tell if it's like a CIA account that's starting some
they're
of these
Fed
things.
posting,
Yeah, the discourse that is going on. Like, what are you all doing?
It's akin to the people who are like, oh, you care about Palestine? Don't you know they'd throw you off a roof in Gaza? Or you see like these posts about what has Palestine ever done for me as a black woman in America? When it's like, okay, I could just envision a guy with like a CIA vest on typing that on the other side. Like, that's not real.
Absolutely.
You mentioned India Walton. And it's already shaping up to be exactly that, right? Governor Hochul, she refused to endorse India Walton in Buffalo, right? And today, Governor Hochul has so far refused to endorse Zohran, right? And then you had Byron Brown in Buffalo, Right.
Well,
So
independent.
he ran as an independent and he got the Republicans to support him. And this is literally what Eric Adams is doing. And so, one of the things, and I appreciate you all letting me come on, one of the things I wanted to share was I think the strategy has to be very vocal and very direct right now and tell the Democratic establishment, whatever you do to Zohran in this general election, we're going to do to you in every election going forward. Because what is the point? What would be the point for us to say, vote for the lesser evil in the midterms when they have shown that they will turn around and align with MAGA in order to undermine progressives? No, I think we need to hold the line here and make it as loud and clear as we can. Whatever the Democrat, if you refuse to endorse, then we're going to refuse to endorse. If you're going to sabotage this campaign, we're going to sabotage your campaign. So whatever they do, however they respond, because we have a track record of seeing how they're going to do it, right? We already know exactly what they're going to do. And if we don't stop them in advance, they're already gearing up to undermine this man's campaign.
Yeah, I think we have to aggressively. I think it's important that we aggressively combat misinformation. I think what was done really well is I think what's beautiful about Zohran's campaign, just overall, and would have still been a big deal regardless of whether or not he'd won, is the amount of mobilization and collaborative effort from everybody. It was a collaborative effort on the part, even down to like the Working Families Party. The slate in and of itself worked together to advance Zohran with the cross endorsement, but also with the entire like leftist independent media like landscape of we're all going to interview him, we're all going to cover it, we're all going to prop him up, we're all going to say that. And I think it's more important now than ever that people combat all the bullshit. Like, okay, as they come out with new narratives, address it, because we have a significant amount more influence than we think, especially when everybody's on the same page. You know what I mean? Like everybody seems to be on the same page.
I think the general sentiment right now too is that like a lot of people are fucking sick of the establishment Democrats and their messaging, and I think a lot of people are very, very sick with just like the way and the direction not only that your country's going, but the world is going under these same policies. That's why their polling is garbage. That's why people are disgusted with Chuck Schumer. That's why they want to primary Hakeem Jeffries, stuff like that, because at the end of the day, that's not messaging or resonating with anyone anymore. Zohran is being attacked as what, like a dangerous terrorist, a Muslim, a jihadist, all this kind of stuff. And what was his message? I want you to be able to work 8 hours a day and provide for your family and be able to pay down a mortgage. And that's not how the world is. And all of a sudden, they put out the fucking bat signal for rapists, and Bill Clinton had to run down and be like, no, stop this. The world is not better. The status quo remains. That's why I think you're going to get enemies on both ends now. And you already seen that, right? Like, didn't Gillibrand today release some statements?
Gillibrand's been an absolute. She was horrible.
She went like
screaming and
full
crying,
clan off.
About how Zohran.
You should play the clip.
Oh,
I'll see if I can find it.
She sounded like a crazy person, yelling in a podcast interview, like almost crying on the air about how Zohran's anti-Semitic. It was insane.
Yeah,
she sounded like a right-wing Republican, right up there with Nancy Mace, honestly.
Did she really?
Yeah.
I did not know that, and that now makes me feel compelled to say something I never said before because I'm not a messy bitch.
Ooh.
A couple of years ago, a few years ago, I had a meeting with Kristen Gillibrand's team about how we could get them, not even her to support like a Rikers receivership or doing something about the Rikers crisis, just to go to Rikers, just to go, not even make a statement, not support or whatever, just to fucking go. Look at it yourself. And she was like, our team was specifically, she's scared of upsetting Eric Adams. She doesn't want to make an enemy of Eric Adams. She's afraid of what he might say or whatever. And I never said that. So I just want to say, pussy. And this is consistent. Oh, this right here is some consistent shit. She's very pussy. Scared to death of Eric Adams. She's scared to death. Okay, very crazy.
I mean, she started her career as a lawyer for Big Tobacco. So I mean, she's not a good person.
Oh, really?
Oh, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah, that explains everything.
So it's 6 minutes long, but apparently she goes so she's pushed back on by the interviewer like a third time, and that's around 3:20. I could start there. I mean, if you want, we can listen to 6 minutes, but
yeah, the worst part is at the end.
She apparently freaks out around.
Start about 3 minutes. Start right there. That's good.
We will talk through all these things. He can tell me his views of the world, and I can learn them firsthand. I think the reference that I had read was global intifada specifically, which has very serious meanings that are violent and
revolution.
destructive. So,
which he says, and I pressed him on this on the show on Monday, but which he says are not calls for violence because intifada is a much broader term involving all kinds of uprisings and resistance and things like that. So I just want to be clear about how at least he defines it. And maybe he needs to be more clear. I don't mean this. I don't mean that. He did say here that he didn't want to be the word police, even as the mayor of New York, if he's elected. But I do also want to be clear that he said he does not support violent intifada. Is that fair?
So Brian, I didn't hear your exchange with him, but if I was speaking to him directly, I would simply say that is not how the words are received. And it doesn't matter what meaning you have in your brain. It is not how the word is received. And when you use a word like intifada to many Jewish Americans and Jewish New Yorkers, that means you are permissive for violence against Jews. It is a serious word. It is a word that has deep meaning. It has been used for wars across time and violence and destruction and slaughter and murder against the Jews. It is a harmful, hurtful, inappropriate word for anyone who wants to represent a city as diverse as New York City with 8 million people. And I would be very specific in these words, and I would say you may not use them again if you expect to represent everyone ever again, because they are received as hateful and divisive and harmful, and that's it. So I appreciate that he told you he didn't mean that, and that's great. That's
And
a
I
great
think
place to start.
also clarify, or he was clarifying that he never said globalize the intifada. He was asked in an interview if he would denounce the phrase globalize the intifada, and then that led to this kind of conversation, that you were just referring to. But that he was never out there saying globalize the intifada. He was asked about other people who used it. So just to be precise about what happened there. Yes.
Well, as a leader of a city as diverse as New York City with 8 million people, as the largest Jewish population in the country, he should denounce it. And that's it, period. And you can't celebrate it, you can't value it, you can't lift it up. And that is the challenge that Jewish New Yorkers have had, certainly since October
Jewish. I mean, what she's actually saying is, there are this many Jewish people in the city, so you can't say this, because it's like if you were actually talking about diversity, you would be referring to the large brown and Muslim population that's also there. But no,
They
you're
don't care about
specifically
that,
like exactly. It's like ma'am,
Yeah.
please go learn the word of what diversity means and stop talking fuck.
I've been sort of looking at it this
Mhm.
way, like every single thing that anyone says to show solidarity with the Palestinian people,
That
whether
part.
it's and she brings it up. I think she could. Let's continue listening, and then I'll
It
say
is,
what I was going to say.
excuse me, it's October 7th. It is exactly what they have felt. It is why Jewish students in our universities have felt unsafe. It is why Jewish students have felt that their schools did not have their backs and cared about them or their learning, because the people doing these protests use words that have meanings that are far more violent and horrific than they may have intended. But when you hear things like intifada, when you hear things like jihad, when you hear from the river to the sea, it is received as
Yeah,
slaughter the
from
Jews and destroy Israel, period. It's how it's received. And if you talk to any group, you talk to our LGBTQ community, you talk to our Black community, you talk to our Hispanic community, there are words and there are
don't bring us into
imagery
this.
and there are things that are said that they will hear it and feel it as a dagger to their throat. And so if you want to be a leader, you have to recognize how these things are felt and received, and saying there should be no word police is irresponsible. Because as a leader, you have to protect everyone. Period.
Because this lady is
One more thing
so
before you go.
fucking pussy. She will not speak up for shit. Like, I know that it's incredible to hear this, because when I tell you this lady, I'm like, hey, I don't know if you know, but they killed like the 14 persons or so has died at Rikers. Eric Adams is like covering up the death. She's like, oh.
And then she tries to bring in black. Kirsten, please don't ever put black folks' name in your mouth ever again.
What I love is that she brings up all the. She's got to bring up intifada. She brings up jihad. She brings up from the river to the sea. And I love how anything that is said to support Palestinian people is somehow going to be anti-Semitic. I saw people trying to turn the keffiyeh into a violent symbol, even though it's the most
the whole time they've been doing that.
Palestinian
Tins of
cultural
watermelons.
symbol.
Yeah,
Right.
watermelon.
The watermelon. But these politicians, whenever they're asked about, is Israel going too far, or Israel just attacked this, or the Gaza, or Lebanon, or Iran, the phrase they always drop is Israel has a right to defend itself.
Yeah.
Right.
How is that not seen as a phrase that hurts the Arab community or the Muslim community? That every time Israel drops a missile on their communities, immediately all these politicians come out and go, Israel has a right to defend itself. You know what? When I hear that phrase, the first thing I think of is how painful that must be for people to hear that.
Racist.
If they have family in Gaza or the West Bank or in Beirut or Tehran, it's ridiculous.
Especially when it's used to justify bombing hospitals, refugee camps, putting bullets in the heads of children, putting bullets in the heads of people trying to get food and flour, right? All they're doing is trying to feed their starving children. And they say, oh, we have a right to defend ourselves. And then they kill 100 people in a single day, right? And so I agree with you. If the word global intifada is offensive, then Israel defending itself, that phrase has to now be offensive because of what they've used it to accomplish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. She was like freaking out. And this is post him winning the election. Like this wasn't like the warning signs and hope that he loses and he's just another, primary candidate knocked down. This guy is the Democratic candidate, the official Democratic candidate for mayor of New York City. And she's freaking out like she's talking about a fucking neo-Nazi running for office with the GOP. It's insanity.
Well, if you want to give her a call,
I love that.
Oh, her website is actually, it's not coming up right now. So maybe people are trying to figure out. Hang on, let me see.
She's always been
also
so
crazy because it's just an
sketchy.
executive decision to be against him, and that's all it is. It's nothing but performance theater. Because if she wanted to speak to him, if she had any interest on knowing, and she literally just could. I know this. I've spoken to him. Like she could just go talk to him, like go have any of her concerns quelled, but she has no interest in this because all of this is just performance theater. She's on a particular side. She's in a particular camp, and anything they can do now to disparage him and make it come off genuine or whatever, that's what they're gonna do. And and it's funny to hear these people like acting more hysterical about the man who wants to give free buses. It's like, oh my God, free buses, grocery stores. He's at a food desert. They're hollering. Meanwhile, we've got like an orange, like a fucking tangerine in the middle of an authoritarian regime. And they're like, don't call him fascist.
I haven't even heard Gillibrand about Trump. Has she come out like talking about Trump like this? Has she been
she is
out of breath speaking about Trump?
She has disappeared ever since her 2020 election campaign for president went down in flames. She didn't even show up for her own her motherhood bill. I remember that she was a staunch advocate for on the campaign trail, and then she dropped out, and it actually went to a vote, and she didn't even show up for her own pet issue when it came up to a vote in the Senate. She has been completely delinquent for years now, and she's lucky that she ran unopposed. Her primary election was unopposed last election season because she's not up again until 2030.
Damn. So her website actually is working. I mistook her for Kirsten Cinema, not Gillibrand. Different Kirsten. I don't apologize for that.
Same spirit though.
Same spirit.
Same energy.
Yeah.
But her number, if you guys want to call her, this is her DC office, and politely tell her that she needs to denounce Islamophobia and her defamatory smears against Zohran Mamdani, and also to vote blue no matter who. Her number is 202-224-4451. This is the Washington, D.C. office, and just be polite. You're not going to talk to anybody. If you are, you'll get a staffer, but just let them know that this kind of intolerant Islamophobia is despicable, and a Democratic senator in the era of Donald Trump should do much better to protect marginalized people, because that's disgusting what she did.
Oh, I do remember she has been.
I say tweeted her. I say she doesn't like bad press and she's very scared of authority. So I would go look for any negative comments she said about anybody with any power right now, any Donald Trumps, anybody in the Democratic Party, and I would blow that up. I would just draw a lot of attention to it. I just happen to know that is what she most fears and doesn't like. Like, she's very scary. So I would go and do that. That would be my suggestion to everybody.
For sure.
I did forget that she has been visible over the past couple of years when she's now the crypto community's best buddy on the Democratic side. She's been the one.
Right.
She's been the one shilling for all the crypto bills. So she's actually joined forces with the Trump world to help promote crypto to her constituents and get their bills passed. So she's been wonderful on scamming the people of America. She's been great on that front.
It's wild.
The way
Like
that
once
things are
Cinema
going-
and Manchin left, like they were replaced immediately by like Fetterman and Gillibrand. Like it's just like
rotating
can't get rid
villains
of
just
these
waiting
people.
in the wind.
Rotating villains, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
you know what's crazy is with the way things are going, Andy Ogles just he introduced a resolution to denaturalize Zohran Mamdani, strip him of his citizenship, deport him. On top of that, you have some Republicans calling on Trump to invoke the Communist something act. It's supposed to stop communists from taking office. It's a Communist Control Act of 1954. Completely unconstitutional. It'd get struck down immediately. Democrats would support that. Like with the way it's going, some Democrats would absolutely get on board. They would vote to denaturalize him. This is how they're letting their freak flags fly. They don't care. Like this is their moment where the ship is sinking and they're going to throw everything against the wall to see what sticks. They don't care. Racism, xenophobia, Islamophobia, they don't care.
And can we contextualize it for like what he really is, what Zohran really is? When he's a democratic socialist. And I love DSA. I was a member briefly there. But can we all just kind of be realistic? They're not really too far from FDR. They're like right in line. They're not communists. They're not. But I mean, even on the international stage, what DSA really is center left. Maybe just a little bit left of center left, right? And so it's not his politics. It's not what he actually advocates for. It's the fact that what he advocates for is going to help the working class. Then number two, he's brown, right? He's and most of all, he's Muslim. And I think that we're going to have to really take a real clear stand here and do what they do. The people who are opposing him are just pure Islamophobic. They have no justification because his policies are going to help most of New York more than anybody else's policies. So what they're standing on is the fear of anything that helps the working class. And then they're standing on Islamophobia. And if they're Democrats doing that, then that's all the more reason. Like, let's let that party burn to the ashes and see what happens.
He's also specifically that he's an immigrant. In New York City, people downplay just how many immigrants are in New York City and how many the majority households, and this was something Brad Lander pointed out along the campaign trail. The majority of households in New York City are mixed status households. Immigrants are in most households in New York City. And we are currently experiencing a mayor who spent his entire term criminalizing immigrants, stoking this migrant crisis, turning everybody against immigrants, and then fundamentally selling out immigrants to Trump, like just completely doing away with this. It's supposed to be a sanctuary city, having ICE running wild, doing what they want. So it's also the fact that Zohran Mamdani would be an immigrant who's actively going to look out and protect the interests of immigrants at a time when the country is it's a war on immigrants. That's what it is. We are living through a war on immigrants. And so that's what I think that is also fundamental to it. Like him being brown, him being a Muslim, but also that he is an immigrant.
Yeah.
Right.
Agreed.
I mean, they smeared Obama back in the day as for being a Muslim who was really actually born in Africa, and they were wrong on that. Not that it made the attacks okay, but it was just inaccurate. And now they found a guy who actually is a Muslim who was born in Africa, and they're going full throttle attacking him. Yeah.
Yeah, their flags are. What'd you say earlier, Mike? Their freak flags are flying.
They're letting their freak flags fly. Like they're just letting it all hang out. If you go and you look at the response to conservatives, my God, it was as if you were at a fucking Klan rally. Usually you go on Twitter, it's like a Nazi rally, but it was a Klan rally then. Like they were fucking. Charlie Kirk was talking about how 25 years ago, 2 planes flew into the Twin Towers, and then and now they elected a Muslim. Like he says, like he just posts this, and this man is not poisonous to the GOP brand. He is one of their biggest propagandists. It's like, man, like the way that they are just like letting it all hang out is it's so wild.
Also, these fuckers don't care about New York City. Why all of a sudden they shit They shit on New York all the time.
They should want Mamdani there if they hate the city so much and they really hate him.
Because that is it. They need a mayor that is in line with the Eric Adams has been their biggest advocate for presenting New York City as Gotham to the rest of the country. He has been actively using, they always use New York City. New York City is supposed to be this shining example of this blue, dangerous, liberal city where all these different, immigrants, minorities, XYZ, whatever. And then they had them a mayor that actively was in their corner like, yep, we need stop and frisk all those black community criminals. We need great, don't tell nobody about it. Oh, immigrants call ICE. They love that. I don't want no fucking mayor who won't who's not friends with the Post. God forbid they have a mayor that's not feeding the New York Post the headlines about the city.
I think that's part of it, but I think there's another thing that's part of it. They're afraid of him being successful because this is a democratic socialist, a left-wing progressive who is in a position now not to detract from AOC. It's super important that progressives get into federal office, but AOC alone by herself can't enact anything as a single member of Congress. As mayor, Zohran Mamdani can actually enact specific parts of his policy just as mayor. He doesn't need anybody else. And they are terrified of that. They are terrified of Zohran Mamdani showing up on day one and freezing the rent for the millions of New Yorkers, including myself, who live in a rent-stabilized apartment, because he can do that. Bill de Blasio did it. And when Zohran Mamdani does it and immediately delivers on one of his promises, it's going to be hell for them because he is going to be so extremely popular from day one.
Yeah, I'm thinking about all the forces that are conspiring against them, right? So you have just pure capitalism, right? That is mounting up against them, and then you have Zionism that's mounting up against them. Then you have all of the anti-immigrant communities that are mounting up against them. Then you have the Democratic establishment who's going to mount up against them, even if it's kind of just by not endorsing, right? By what they won't do, and you have all of these categories building up against them, and then here we are, really. The people who are behind them are the progressives. And we really have to, I think they're going to have to find a way to galvanize a voting populace in New York City that didn't turn out, right? I think they're going to really have to appeal to people who normally don't come out because of what he's promising to do. And the fact that he's standing 10 toes down on this. Like, he really is going to go in there and do something for the working class, for normal people. But that's exactly who this system can't afford to have any rest for. They can't have us actually be able to afford our rent. Because if we can afford our rent, then we won't go to the check cashing store in order to get a payday advance, right? If we can afford our rent, if we can afford to have a single family income household, then that gives our families and our units the ability to have breathing room. They can't afford for the workers of this country or any city in this country to actually have a moment of peace because the system is completely designed to just grind us to a pulp. And you got to look at all those people lined up against them. They're people in one way or the other, including Zionists, who benefit from crushing people. Look at what they're doing in Gaza, for that matter.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that's why you got all those campaign ads during a primary where I don't know if you saw the one where they photoshopped his beard to make him look like a scary Muslim. That was sponsored by DoorDash. DoorDash was the one that was paying for those like racist ads, and I was like,
they edited my beard onto Zohran because my beard is literally longer than. I mean, it is like, listen, we're not surprised that the Republicans and the right wingers are doing this stuff. We know they're xenophobic and racist, but what's insane is that as they throw the most Islamophobia out there that I've seen for in 50 and 20 years, as they're doing that, the media and the entire narrative is literally, Zohran Mamdani, a lot of people say you're an anti-Semite. Is that true? You Islamic pig? Is that true? Are you an anti-Semite? You gross Muslim?
Why don't you want to go to Israel? Like, it's just that debate question was so insane.
It's insane. It is insanity.
Do you agree that it's a Jewish ethno-supremacist state? do that. But can you say it out loud? If you don't say it out loud, you're anti-Semitic. And then it's like, what other world do we do this? Like, in what other country do we do this for? You don't ever do that. Should America be a white Christian state? I would never ask. A Nazi would ask that. Why are you asking that?
That's the thing, though. That's the great point, though. Everyone in this, at least everyone center left, whether you're a normie Dem or a shit lib, a liberal or whatever you are, you know that when the right wing declares this is a Christian nation, we know what they're doing. We know they're trying to deny equal rights to people who are not white Christian evangelicals.
Yeah.
We understand that. But then out of the other side of your mouth, you go, but there needs to be a Jewish supremacist state. Right. It's insanity.
Right. Well, it's because we're moving towards, on a global stage, we're moving towards like a league of nationalism versus the League of Nations or the United Nations. Like, we're moving towards where every nation is trying to corner itself into being an ethno-nationalist state where we won't intervene, don't worry about human rights violations in my country, and I won't worry about human rights violations in your country. And so in that way, it makes perfect sense for them to be building this kind of global coalition. It seems counterintuitive, right? Why would Zionists align with Nazis? Well, they believe that they can each have their own country, and they don't bother the Zionists in Israel, and they won't bother the Nazis in the United States of America. But we already know how that story plays out. After they purged all the ethnic minorities in their nations, who are they going to go and blame everything on next? Each other, and then they'll be back fighting each other in a generation. That's how the cycle goes.
Now, I'm not in New York, so I don't know the answer to this question, but does foreign policy normally does foreign policy normally dominate the mayoral race for New York City? Like,
that was so wild.
I mean, obviously we have a very large, in New York City, we have a very large Jewish population, but it's never like this. It's never.
But doesn't like play into the whole dual loyalty tropes? Because I kept seeing like all those things, like, Batar Worldwide was like, we recommend all Jews leave New York immediately and stuff like that. I was like,
racist. It's not like they're being racist. The brown man is a racist. We have to talk about Israel. They're just being racist.
Yeah.
I saw somebody joking on Twitter about this, saying, I'm running for 8th grade class president, and I stand with our number one ally, Israel. Like, it's infected every single election. Because, I mean, that's where a lot of the money is. Like, if you go back to the race in 2022, 2021 with Nina Turner, there was a poll that came out that showed Nina 35 points ahead of Chantel Brown. Right after that, Chantel Brown went to her website, and they have these red boxes that you can communicate to super PACs with. You're not directly communicating, but they know that that's what they should pick up. And it was just quotes about her loyalty to Israel and how she stands with Israel. As soon as that happened, money flooded into that race, washed it all away. Like, Nina Turner's lead completely evaporated, and she lost. That is how you win elections: is you pledge fealty to Israel, and then you get the funding. That's
what
sad
happened.
That's what it's come to.
Cori Bush, right? Cori Bush got flooded out by AIPAC money, and they found a black person who was willing to do the bidding of AIPAC. So just to be clear, right, this allegiance, this idolatrous allegiance to Israel is as multicultural as fascism is right now. It's very, very diverse. And I remember it is a religion. It is most certainly a religion. And I remember the race that you're talking about. I was in Cleveland for the weekend of the election, and I remember seeing billboards in the city, and I know Nina, right? And they darkened her face and her skin and made her look so just terrifying all over the city. And you sit back and wonder, like, how could not only just any normal human being do this and engage in this? We see that through history, but then how can black people align with that? And then you go and you ask, like, well, how can women now align with the anti-women tropes of these fascists? And how can, it's like there's always going to be people who are willing to align with, whether it be Zionism or align with MAGA, just in order for their interests, and they will destroy their own communities to accomplish it.
Or white supremacy, right? Like, how many people aren't white who are now trying to uphold white supremacy in one way or there, right? Where you're just like, yeah. I mean, everyone wants to be close to power. It makes you feel safer. Everyone wants to be reaffirming systems rather than changing the world, rather than actually. And that's why what Binder said was very true, where he's like, the biggest danger and why Democrats like Bill Clinton and the establishment and the media were attacking him too, is if he can prove that, like, hey, by the way, you can have rent freezes, you can have cheaper groceries, you can have free transportation. What if it happened in other cities? What if a whole bunch of other people woke up? What if the world started seeing that shit and being like, wait, what the fuck? This is not the way we have to live? There's a better option? Holy shit. Yeah, you might have a revolution then.
It's bad when Laura Ingraham is going on Fox News saying that rich people need to come together in New York. Rich New Yorkers need to come together to create a groundswell of support for an alternative. When it's like, they did that already. Rich people came together to try to stop Zohran, and he did not just like beat Andrew Cuomo in the first round. I looked at this. He got more votes in the first round than Eric Adams got in the last round. So it's not just that he defeated this political dynasty. He has a fucking mandate. And so when you take into consideration that, as well as the fear that like socialism might be popular when he actually does it, that has them terrified, because then the Democratic Party is the bar is gonna be raised, and they're not gonna want to have to deliver that.
The funny thing is, I don't think they yes, rich people obviously like galvanized behind Cuomo, but I don't even think they galvanized to defeat Zohran. Like at the time when Cuomo got in the race, they galvanized to take advantage of thinking Eric Adams was dead in the water. Like Cuomo just wants more power since having to resign. And it was like an easy opportunity. It seemed like an easy win at one point. Like I do not think at the day that Cuomo decided he was jumping into the race that they saw Zohran for the threat that he was. Like up until literally a couple of months ago, that gap was immense. It was a sure thing that Cuomo was going to take it from Eric Adams. So I think now it's like, oh fuck, we galvanized behind it before to get you in there, but now you have to expressly take this guy down. So now they're strategizing. They're trying to figure out how best to do that.
And I hope they do strategize themselves into a rich versus poor coalition, because I think they misunderstand the total demographics of any city in this country, especially New York City, right? Because if they really believe that that is what's going to help save them, the money of the rich, I think that's the perfect scenario for something to kind of, I think that'll send a signal. I think people's brains will finally click into gear, into the class solidarity we really need to have.
Yeah, because it's class warfare that's been waged against us, but it's always been asymmetric, and they don't want that.
That's right.
I don't know if you all saw the clip on CNBC of the guy, I don't know his name, he hosts Squawk Box, I think, but he was like, this is class war. Like, this is class war. But, like, talking about the poor waging class war on the rich, it's amazing to me.
You also have Cuomo, the other Cuomo, Chris Cuomo, freaking out.
His tears.
His show,
his
calling for AOC to leave the party.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen this clip? I haven't watched this yet, but
what did he do?
It's funny.
He's having a rough couple of days.
Yeah, he's clearly his brother's loss.
He's basically calling Zohran a jihadist and saying that the Democratic Party, like AOC, Bernie, they've gone MAGA.
Them from having the nuke. How do you keep them from having the nuke? Impeach Trump is the opposite of having a better idea. You're killing your party.
His face is so red.
Mm-hmm.
You're killing your party. And look, I hope it works out for you. I hope you guys splinter off and become, whatever you really are. Because you're not a capitalist and you're not a Democrat.
Good.
And, you can say, well, what do you know? I was raised by a real one.
I really
go ahead and criticize Mario Cuomo.
My dad is Mario Cuomo.
They spawn.
I don't want to.
My father.
A real one has to be taken back. Like I must say, I put a fucking stop to it. I have had enough. Oh God, it sounds crazy out of everybody's white mouth. Stop! It sounds nuts. Like
I honestly love this so much.
By a real one, what does that mean to you? What does a real one mean to you? Like it's so funny because it's a real one. A real what? What do you think that is? What do you think it is? Stop taking things you don't get. You sound crazy. Like
I gotta say, I hope he knows that his salty tears I'm using to salt up my gabagool. So suck a dick, Frito. I love it. And that is anti-Italian sentiment that I'm expressing explicitly, just in case the dog whistle wasn't clear.
Anti-Italian discrimination.
under me and Andrew.
Fuck, you have that ready?
Yeah, I have that on the soundboard.
That was perfect, David.
Yeah, this clown's almost done.
Is that going to be the best you have? Because you ain't shit compared to him.
Oh,
not in terms of intelligence, not in terms of success, not in terms of pedigree, not in terms of philosophy, not in terms of mission, not in terms of eloquence, not in terms of charisma, not in terms of anything.
Losing his
Certainly
mind.
not electability. Yeah. You are
Crashing
killing your
out.
party.
Holy shit.
Because you are not a real one. Because you're doing what's good for you in a vacuum. With your little social media following, you're no different than a pod bro.
AOC?
And you're killing your party.
He's talking about AOC, yeah.
Oh, AOC
and he's literally a pod bro. He's got a YouTube
But
trophy.
I'm
They gonna make me start cussing again.
That's so crazy. Like having your YouTube, having your YouTube plaque behind you.
Yeah.
Like as you be like, you know better.
You are literally a pod bro. You are podcasting right now.
The cognitive dissonance is crazy. So you're literally you know what's funny too is like looking in the mirror, but he's literally looking at himself in the camera.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
That is so funny. I said, see, I did my like the Fall of Cuomo like Illuminati production a few months ago. And I have a whole chapter devoted to Chris Cuomo's role in the fact that people thought Andrew Cuomo was this like so beloved during the pandemic. He did so much PR for his brother to turn him into America's sweetheart. And he's sick because he's personally taking it out. Like he sacrificed so much of his little career. Like he is in fact no better. He wishes he was part of America. He's no better than the pod bros and stuff because of what he has done to his career, running cover for his daddy. Because I'm telling you, the Cuomo PR train goes so crazy.
Why did he get fired again from CNN?
He got fired because he was out here using his show as PR for his brother, and he was sitting in on meetings with his brother's team, helping how to like spin and navigate the fallout from sexually harassing 13 women. He was unethical. He got fired for being unethical as fuck.
Cover-upper. Got it.
Is my mic quiet? Someone's on my mic quiet? Is it?
No, you're good.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, you sound fine. I will say I feel proud of all of us that this man who has a last name, part of a political dynasty, was part of CNN, cannot get more views on his YouTube than any of us. So, and we don't have parents with last name of Cuomo. Self-made over here.
Wait, how many views
that
does it have?
motherfucker is still struggling. Well, if you look at his News Nation, it has like 20K, 40K. And all of the comments, every comment is shitting on him on News Nation, by the way. So nobody likes him.
He's down there with me. What are we talking about here?
He's washed.
Show shortly after my Eric Adams interview, he invited me to like go on there with some nut, and I was like, "Oh, this is a setup if I've ever seen one." Like the amount of I'm telling you, after that Eric Adams interview, the amount of like right wing people who were just plotting on me, like, "Oh, invite her on this network, she's gonna come." Because no, you're a fucking liar. Ruin my moment because you want to set me up? No fucking way. Let me go see these numbers.
Yeah, I'm looking on this YouTube channel. Let me see.
Oh man.
Oh,
I love that he's down there with
the first video that plays. He says, "My brother Andrew." My God, he's like Meghan McCain. My father. My father.
Meghan, shut the fuck up. Numbers. Meghan McCain's numbers are non-existent.
He's got.
Are they really?
She has a channel?
That's why I didn't even know she was on YouTube. People, go check out her YouTube numbers. I stumbled upon this in my research. I don't know if y'all saw. Did y'all see Robbie from Rising? Robbie from Rising created.
She has 10K subs.
But no, the subs she had 10,000 views. She checked the numbers; they're in the hundreds, like 100 views.
God, you're not kidding. Oh yeah,
I'm a real research hater. Hey, listen,
wait, someone pull it up. Someone pull it up. I want to see these.
Pull it up.
She gets like it's like 2K views and some 1K views. Some have 30, but most are like 1K, 2K.
I'm trying to give y'all tea.
God, she's almost pulling TYT numbers. My God.
Telling y'all, Robbie from Rising started a show that is on this two-way network. That you said a two-way right there. If you go to their YouTube, like that's Meghan McCain's thing, and she's I think essentially like producing a show for Robbie from Rising, Nina Turner, Batia, and some other right-wing person or whatever, and they have some shitty. I love Nina, bless her heart. But anyway, the show is on that two-way app, and that's how I found it. Like, oh, this is Meghan McCain's. And then I went over to Meghan McCain's thing, and I was like, oh. So I just look into that. Do with that information which y'all may.
I love that. Her name,
Comes out every Thursday.
The name
I
of
love
her
that.
show is Citizen McCain with Meghan McCain. It has McCain twice. Just so you know, my father is John McCain. Just in case you didn't know, I am the result of his cum. So I need you to know again, John McCain's daughter. FYI,
Yeah, it should be in brackets after Meghan McCain. Citizen McCain with Meghan McCain in brackets. John McCain's daughter.
Yes.
Oh, goodness.
Isn't there's like a 3-minute compilation of her saying my father, my father, my father, my father, my
Yes.
father,
Oh,
my
yeah, I
father,
used
like
that a
over and
couple
over
times.
again.
She blocked me
Yeah.
over that one.
Yeah, she blocked me on Twitter. I never
She
interacted with her,
blocked
but I
me
did a
as
video on her.
well.
and she-
Oh
must have
goodness,
seen
I
it.
love it.
We're all
But,
blocked by her.
It's just like a
I'm not
reaction
blocked.
channel, I
I've never had
guess.
a
I don't
reason
know.
to
what
like
she
think of like speak to Meghan McCain. I never said nothing to her about her, but I did stumble.
Oh,
on
she
these
has the
numbers.
lesbian. Oh, she has the lesbian from TikTok. No, the liberal lesbian. Why are you giving Meghan McCain your insight, lesbian
The
lady?
liberal
Stop.
lesbian.
Oh my god.
What are you talking
Again,
about?
y'all should. I encourage y'all
Tiny
to go
desk
look at
news.
the lineup of Nina Turner and Robbie's new show. Give that some time.
I don't want to. That sounds like it'll
Yeah.
depress me.
I think you
love
should.
I'm gonna check it out.
Now I have to. I have
Yeah.
to check it out now.
Great.
When Ole says it and then she says it like that with that look, it's like I'm in for something that's a real treat, I bet.
I'm sorry. This is a very funny video. Sneak peek: Meghan McCain tells Usha Vance, the second lady, whatever you call that, she's pregnant with baby number 3. Can you imagine being JD Vance's wife and going to do this interview, and Meghan McCain breaks the news that Meghan McCain is pregnant, and you have to pretend to give a fuck? Like, why would you make that part of a video? Like, why would you do that?
No self-awareness. And she's John McCain's daughter, so she could do whatever she wants. I think.
Right.
that's-
I want to see what Usha Vance's reaction was, because like what is she supposed to do? Like soy face and break out into
Oh,
tears?
that's so
Who cares?
nice.
If my own sister was like, I'm pregnant, I'd be like, okay, again. Like, why would you care about somebody else's kid? That's so weird. Oh my god, these people are so narcissistic. Holy shit.
Well, I mean, you should probably care about your sister.
No, it's time to stop. I'll love the baby when it's out. I'm a great uncle. I'm the best uncle, the
Time
funnest
to
uncle.
stop. How
But,
you saying this on air with me? Number 3.
What are you talking about? What I missed? What is this an inside joke? What?
I'm gonna stop before I piss off my own family. Oh, the shit I say that gets
How many
relayed back
kids
to
does
my
your
family
sister
on
have?
air is not okay.
How many kids does your sister have?
My sister one has. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna stop.
Way to catch
I'm gonna
yourself.
stop on that.
Way to save yourself there, Mike. That was a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
save.
I'm not gonna
Okay.
say which sister or like family, just in general. Let's just say like my family has 1,000 kids. Like I am the
That's
uncle
nice,
of
that's
28
good.
nieces and nephews. So
That's beautiful. I
do
like
with
that.
that
Oh my
what you
God.
want.
28?
Like 20,
I'm
maybe it's
confused. What am
26. I don't
missing?
remember. I lost
Does your
count.
sister have like an obscene amount of children? What is the inside joke?
No,
here?
I have
no,
just
that's-
like a lot of brothers and sisters. Collectively, there's a lot of children.
You have a lot of
but
brothers and
also, it's more because they're old. Their children are older, so I have great nieces and nephews now as well. So it's just a very big family.
How many siblings do you have, Mike? And how
Holy
old are
shit.
they?
I
Just
have
spell it
4.
out
I have
for me.
I have 4 siblings. Yeah,
And
they're
what-
all
and how
much
old
older
is
than
the
me.
oldest one?
I'm the
How
I'm
old is
the
the oldest
I'm the
one?
youngest. Yeah, the oldest one is like 50 something. I don't know how old.
Crazy.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I didn't know
know
that.
this?
Wow.
Wait a minute. I said,
Yeah.
"Oh wow!" Like I'm not close to 50. Wow. Oh boy. Okay.
So you
I had
have,
to remind myself
how
how old.
you have nieces and nephews that are in that, technically could be in that cohort that voted for Zohran Mamdani on Tuesday.
That are millennials. Yeah, a lot of millennial and Zoomer nieces and nephews. Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. So they're closer to age to you than your brother, your oldest brother. No.
Yeah, I grew up with them.
Wow, that's
Sure.
crazy. Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen this Kathy Hochul
Enough about
interview
me.
where she's?
Yeah.
Here,
I
can
haven't
put-
even play it. I'd like to see it. Make me laugh.
That's the one. Yep.
Oh no! I'm just realizing Meghan McCain is talking shit. I'm sorry.
No, what's she doing? Pause it. Well, Kathy, what Meghan McCain doing?
Oh, Okay, this is petty. She's just talking about Michelle Obama's podcast numbers being bad.
I know. I seen this weeks ago when she did it because I said, interesting how a bitch with 100 views, 1,000 views is talking shit on somebody with hundreds of thousands of views. I know. I want you to know I did peep and I did comment from my burner informing her of that. I did in fact address that in her comment section.
Oh my god, what's your burner name? I gotta know.
Well, okay,
There won't be a burner anyway anymore.
Everybody knows my burner. My burner is literally the most like known burner, but I haven't used it in like 2 years because I can't remember the password. But it's Futbucker69.
Oh,
that's hilarious.
I don't have the time for a burner.
I made like 3 posts on Twitter. It was harassing members of Congress, I think.
I can't believe Ole shit talking behind a burner. I'm shocked.
It's not. First of all, it's not like on
Ole's
Twitter. It's like just my
01.
regular YouTube. It's
I
not
was
an
gonna
actual
say
burner.
that.
It's just like it's just your regular YouTube account you had before you had a YouTube. I have like a regular YouTube that's not a Illuminati. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't have a burner on social media. That just don't make no sense. I talk shit aloud.
Ole set up a libtard O2 account.
Honestly,
the
reason why I wouldn't comment from Illuminati on her comment section is because that would get her views.
Right.
I was just not trying to help
Oh.
her. If I commented on Meghan McCain's comment thing from Illuminati and someone you saw it, that would immediately be someone say something, she'd respond, that'd be a whole thing, and she's getting more views and money than you, whatever. But I'm not trying to help her. I'm just trying to hurt her feelings. And not even because again, and I wasn't even like talking shit. I wasn't like, you big stupid bitch. I was like, that doesn't seem to make sense. How you could be criticizing the views, hundreds of thousands of views when you have 100 views. That makes no sense. I only pointed out that is illogical, ma'am.
I wonder if you could probably honestly provoke a response if you go into her comment section, and I'm not recommending you do this. Please don't harass anybody. But if you went into her comment section and you were like, "This woman looks familiar. I wonder if she's related to anybody, perhaps a popular political figure," she would respond, "I'm actually John McCain's daughter."
I'm now on the YouTube video, scouring through the comments, trying to figure out which one you could be.
Go to hell.
Is she getting shit on by her?
Mind your business. I hope she banned me already.
Oh,
I hope
she's
from channel.
She probably blocked you.
I'm seeing who has pointed out.
I want to say that I stand. I get rid of people who talk shit to me. So I never have any problem with people doing the same thing to me. Get me out of there. I support you.
Yeah.
You're right. You don't need this bullshit on your channel. Some
I
hating bitch who paused the video to make sure you didn't get a view just so she could talk shit in your comments.
I replied to one of her posts where she was saying something like, "My father is like the most cherished war veteran in U.S. history," and I just replied with, "Now he's a toilet," and I think that was enough to block. Like I thought that was where it came from. Yeah.
You earned that block.
I'm gonna throw out a username. Ole, blink twice if this is yours.
You shut the hell up, Bender. Is someone mute Bird? Why is Bender trying to ruin my life? Let me enjoy YouTube from the anonymity of my quiet accounts. Let me have something.
Ole, are you
on? Someone stop him.
Are you Dave Clark 8337? Are you Stephanie Anderson 1924? I think I know which one is yours, Ole. Actually,
Somebody would get going by Stephanie.
I think I found you.
Wouldn't suspect that. Yes, but yeah, that's my that was my research. I was in Meghan McCain's business a few weeks back because I said, "What is this two-way app? Robbie and Nina have a show. Let's look into this." Then other things happened. I wanted to talk about it, and I think that was when Anna and them started they little like her take, and I had to like switch focus on who I was going to talk shit on.
That's a great show. Huge fan.
So let me ask Ole this while we have her, because she is the Eric Adams expert here. She knows that guy inside and outside.
Of all the things to develop an expertise in.
Right. If you were contacted by the Zohran Mamdani campaign, and who knows, maybe they will be seeking out your expertise. How would you go about the campaign to defeat Eric Adams?
I genuinely, I think Eric Adams in many ways has already defeated himself. I don't think you have to do anything. I don't think you have to do anything special to Eric Adams, but show Eric Adams. You need only just. Here's a clip of Eric Adams talking himself. Here's Eric here saying this. Eric just did you see him at the polls talking about he ranked himself for all 5 slots? Eric at this point, Eric Adams is best served not giving him any attention. I really don't think there's anything new to say about him other than to expose him. Like, honestly, that's the most thing you could do is just remind people this man is a Republican. Every time you see him on Fox News, show your black auntie and uncle and Grammy and grandpa them. Just make sure you show them, remind them, look here, this is him on Fox. This is him on News Nation. And this is him doing all of the quintessential Republican things we don't like and leave it at that. But honestly, I don't think Eric Adams is a serious threat at this point. I don't think Eric Adams is not going to defeat Zohran. We don't have to fight Eric Adams. We have to fight the misinformation and the xenophobia and all the different things that they're going to peddle about Zohran. It's not Eric is not. Yeah, like it's not any opponents themselves that are a threat to Zohran.
Cuomo is staying in the race, so it's going to be Cuomo, Eric Adams, both running.
Yeah.
Isn't that going to split the vote,
news?
Wait, what happened? What happened?
Almost
Cuomo's running.
Yeah, I knew that. I told y'all that. I told everybody that for weeks. I said that before we got the decision. I said it after. I said it yesterday.
Is that going to split the vote like 3 ways? Is there going to be?
Well, it's going to be 4 ways. There's actually 5 candidates.
I don't think so. Eric Adams, support for Eric Adams is almost non-existent, and anybody that likes Eric Adams loves Cuomo. So I just see Cuomo's just going to take the support that Sliwa Adams would get. So I think,
and Sliwa said he's not. There was a rumor going around that the Trump administration was offering him a role in the White House to drop out of the race so they could coalesce around Adams. And Sliwa was like, "I'm not doing that." Sliwa actually hates Adams just as much as we probably do.
Oh, he has Sliwa's campaign against Cuomo and Eric Adams is spot on. Very hilarious. He's just nuts. He's out of his fucking mind.
I actually think Sliwa might like Mamdani more than Adams and Cuomo. Honestly. He's a weird one. That Sliwa guy.
Saying the funniest shit in his. My favorite thing is from the debates in the Eric Adams mail when he'd be like, you're from Jersey. Most people say like you live in Jersey. He'd be like, Adams, he's a liar. Like, I love how he talks. Curtis Sliwa is hilarious. Eric Adams and Curtis Sliwa and several of these politicians would be so funny if they did stand up. Like, they'd be so fucking good. Eric Adams is a funny man. If he had a podcast, top tier fucked up content. It would be hilarious. Unfortunately, they'd be like run the city.
What's my favorite? I'm trying to think of my favorite Eric Adams line. Oh, it's got to be, what was it? Like, all my haters become my waiters when I sit down at the table of success. Oh my God. Wow. He always drops these sort of phrases. Oh, there's that video, the one you mentioned earlier, where when he was asked as he was heading to the poll about who he was voting for, and he said he was ranking himself 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But then as he's going in the building, the person filming says, "Who are you voting for city council, Che?" And that's a guy who's like very progressive. He endorsed Mamdani. And Eric Adams turns around and gives him like this stink eye look. It's the funniest thing. If Eric Adams was not the mayor of New York, it would be so fun to watch this guy.
He'd be
he's hilarious.
He's very funny. Even in my interview with him, when I quoted like the comptroller Brad Lander's like reported, he was like, Brad Lander. He's funny as fuck.
How did you keep yourself from laughing, Lole? Because I would have cracked up.
He's funny. He's a fucking clown. I don't hate, I be telling people, listen, I don't hate Eric Adams personally. I don't care about that man. I just don't want him to be mayor. I have no personal issue with him. I just don't want him to be mayor. And it's for material reasons. I'm not even somebody, it's not like I would spend my time kicking the mayor's back in willy-nilly. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't like jumping de Blasio, but I'm like, Eric Adams be killing, like, people get killed. They like be killing people, and Eric Adams be like, cover that up. Cover that up. Eric Adams be like, right quick, you know those them violent NYPD units be disbanded? Send him the 5 punch right now. That's why. That's my problem. If he didn't do shit like that, if it wasn't like, oh, let me actively get like immigrants, homeless people, and black people killed and hemmed up, it would be no problem. Like if he was just doing regular shit, like tear up the budgets, do state regular wicked shit. Eric Adams be like, wouldn't it be nice if some people died? Wouldn't it be nice if we got some people to credit?
This is my favorite Eric Adams video.
This is hilarious.
It's worth watching again because it's just so great.
You can look at a jewelry box. A jewelry box of this nature, maybe a simple jewelry box, but if you look through it closely, you don't know what your child may be hiding. For instance, a gun. Look at picture frames and behind them, cameras. Try to determine what's taking place. Behind a picture frame, you can find bullets. You should always, when your child brings in his popular knapsack with many different locations, look through it to see what exactly is your child carrying in addition to a book. Something simple as a crack pipe. Something simple as a baby doll. Could be just a baby doll, but also it could be a place where you can secrete or hide drugs. Run your hands over the tree and see if you feel anything that's unusual. Like a book like this with a button is a perfect invitation to hide something. And I felt something bumpy. I would reach in, see what it is. Just look and see what's inside your bookcases. It could be more than just books.
I mean, kudos to the editing too. It's not just the video. Like whoever edited this is.
Also, another great video. I just dropped it in the chat. Pull that one up. This is a compilation video, the one I put in. He has a habit of doing this, and it's fantastic.
Simple as a crack pipe.
That's my favorite line.
New York City is. Everyone knows that New York City is the Athens of America. It's the Istanbul of America. It's the Kyiv of America. It's the soul of America. We are the Tel Aviv of America. New York City is the Islamabad of America. The Zagreb of America. We are the Lima of America. New York City is Mexico City of America. This is the Dublin of America, New York City. Everyone knows that.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? Like, very funny.
Amazing.
Like if it wasn't tied to like wickedness, if Eric Adams were just incompetent, it'd be one thing. But he's actively fucked up.
Malevolent. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a wicked dude. Well, very, 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 very wicked dude.
Mm.
I don't want to change the subject, but can I show you all a picture of Curtis Lewa without the beret?
Oh, I've seen this.
Yes.
Yeah,
I've never seen it.
I haven't seen what he looks like without the beret. I only know
he's like
David,
Tim
you'll
Pool.
probably
He
have to
never
bring
takes
it.
it off.
Isn't that
interesting.
Oh my
wild?
God, the tan
He's got
line.
a tan line. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, from always having that hat
Does
on.
he go to
That's
sleep
great.
with that on? My God.
Oh my God.
Is that not
Tim
Photoshop?
Right.
That's real?
He's Boomer Tim Pool.
That's crazy.
You know what? If that was me, I'd spend that to how hard I'd be working. I'd be in the sun every day campaigning, hat on, touching the people, telling the people what they need to hear. This picture would be proof of just how hard I work. Just how much I'd be out there knocking on doors.
It looks like an egg.
Yeah, the stench would probably be unbearable.
Half poached egg. My goodness.
Ladies spend a lot of time at the beach to get a tan line like that.
Wearing the beret at the beach.
Just working on my tan line, says Curtis Lewa.
I just wanted to share that with you all. It's quite the sight to behold.
Yeah.
Oh,
we should talk about Bill Ackman, right? This is hilarious. As we're talking about the 5 candidates who are actually on the ballot, Bill Ackman, the hedge fund guy who was a major Trump donor, who was a major Cuomo donor, he's the guy known for he put all his money in Herbalife, and that ended up being a Ponzi scheme. And then he got short. The people went short on it to fuck him over, but he still got so much money it didn't matter, I guess. He also was the guy who his wife was called out for plagiarism, and he went on like 20,000 word essay rants about it, and in the process let everyone know accidentally that his wife was associated with Jeffrey Epstein in some way. So he is out there currently trying to find a superhero for New York City that he's going to put all of his money behind to save us from Zohran Mamdani. He's begging someone to step forward as a write-in candidate, because I guess Eric Adams, Andrew Cuomo, Curtis Lewa, and the other third-party guy like Jim Walden or whatever his name is, I guess that's not enough for them. And he's going insane on Twitter, trying to find whoever is going to defeat Zohran Mamdani. It's hilarious.
Good. Split the vote even more.
Yeah.
I like that they're all upset. It's nice. It's a nice change of
It
pace.
feels good because that knows that we won, right? Like to see them.
Yeah,
so
it hasn't
mad,
upset me none.
that's
I've been
usually
looking.
us.
I've been looking at xenophobic, racist shit all day like this.
Yeah, but I feel like they're ramping up, right? I think that it feels like there's so much headroom for them to go even further. I think that they might actually try to denaturalize him, but that one would backfire. I think that would backfire spectacularly. But I think the way that they're going to really, really lay it down on him is on the fear of socialism and the fear of Islam. And those two by themselves, I think could build. And the fact that you see all these people who are defecting already, right? You see so many Zionists who are defecting and saying, that they're going to vote with Eric Adams. And if Eric Adams ends up running as a Republican, which is kind of being rumored at this point, they're trying to push, like you mentioned earlier, I think, Bender, you mentioned they're trying to push him over into somebody who's running for the GOP position.
They want Curtis Lewa, the guy with the tan line, to drop
to take
out
a Trump position, right?
Yeah,
right.
But Lewa said he's not going to do it. Curtis Lewa is like a real New York guy. Like
Like
really
he is the Republicans. He's the New York Republicans. Joe Stein. He's gonna run every time.
So
right.
No, I'm just saying.
He doesn't care about any other position. He doesn't care about even if he was offered something to go to DC, he wouldn't do that. He doesn't care about that. Like he views New York as his city. And he thinks he's the guy to become the next mayor. So no one's going to convince him otherwise.
So let me ask you all this then. What coalition do you see forming out of all of the different hatreds and bigotries against Zohran? Because it feels like they haven't found out how they're going to coalesce, but it's only going to take a few weeks before we find out how they're going to coalesce into one singular block to oppose him. What do you think that looks like?
I don't know, because Cuomo dropping out right away would make it really obvious. But if Cuomo is staying in the race, then that's clearly going to split that vote. Cuomo actually staying in the race might actually be the best case scenario for Zohran. Honestly.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I'll stay right there.
And
I'll stay right there. I'm watching right now. I'm telling you, by next week, Black liberals, and I've seen them. I know who they are. I know the political commentators are going to be fully mobilized on Zohran. Is every problem they have with Bernie. I see them. They're already saying it. I'm telling you, it's starting in the camp is that Zohran has the same problems as Bernie, that he's avoiding Black people, avoiding the Black community, not reaching out to them, yada, yada, yada. I'm telling you, don't sleep on it. They love Cuomo. They are they're taking the weekend to lick their wounds. Next week, they will activate.
Wouldn't there be enough votes though? Wouldn't that split that vote? Eric Adams speaks to that same constituency.
I can't tell you, Black people that like Eric Adams love Cuomo. I know this. I have those parents.
Oh, I believe you.
Cuomo sexuals, like my mommy and them, like auntie them, they love him. I'm telling you, that's how they feel. They feel strongly.
You just say they're Cuomo sexual.
That was what. No, that was.
It was
remember that? Remember that?
I promise you, I had that in my Cuomo production. And when I would try to tell my mommy about Cuomo, she said, "Don't talk to me about my fucking boy." That's what she said. My fucking boy. Don't talk about my boy.
Doesn't she watch All of Us?
No.
So then, how because if the strategy and the narrative isn't difficult to come up with to help Zohran overcome that. What's difficult is the media and getting enough traction to actually get that narrative out there.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody got to join the campaign trail. To me, the best bet is for everybody, all of the leftists, commentators, creators, whatever, to move like they are on the Zohran campaign trail.
Yeah.
We need to be just constantly combating misinformation, because I don't think it's not that crazy. It's just that people don't know any better. They don't know these politicians, even though our feeds might look like this is all everybody talking about or whatever. That is not everybody's feeds. Literally, I just told my CJ daddy a couple days ago. I had to tell him the morning of. He was like, "When in doubt, he was like, oh, what's going on, baby girl, with the election? When in doubt, rank Cuomo, right?" I was like, no, they don't. And once I said, he was like, oh. I didn't know that. Won't do that, but they need to hear it. So I think we just need to be actively making it our mission to address it, not just once I support Zohran and then don't talk about it no more. We have to like address all of the misinformation, and I think we just need to do what we've been doing. I think the left has done really good at that. Like,
but what won't Zohran? I mean, obviously, but won't there be a lot of people, especially the people you're talking about, the Cuomo fans in certain communities? Won't they see the Democratic nominee on the Democratic line come November and be like, I'm a Democrat, I'm voting Democrat? Like,
no, babe. You remember again, Byron Brown. No, they love
Yeah.
Byron Brown is the same. Like, how they felt about Byron Brown. I'm telling you, even like my best friend is from Buffalo and was telling me like, no, we love him up here. Like the black, they love him. Old, like they went out. I remember that's my first time having egg on his face. That's actually how I met Ben and Rebecca, is being on their show after India Walton run and laughing, scoffing at how ridiculous it was that Byron Brown was going to run as an independent and not drop out. Yeah, that fucking went well. That. I'm telling you, it's a real, it's a real thing. It's not. I get it. We think vote blue, no, it's different. It's different now. It's gonna be different. I would not count Cuomo out. That does not mean that I don't think Zohran's not going to win or that he can't win or anything like that. I just think it's a mistake for people. I see a lot of people going, oh, it's going to split the vote. I'm not worried about it. Oh, he's humiliated. He's this. And I'm like, no, he's not. Listen, this is a man who had to resign from governor, had to resign after walking about the place, celebrating himself as America's sweetheart, getting Emmys, getting $5 million book deals, and had to resign for sexually harassing 13 women and fucking licked his wounds, retaliated, and turned to run back for mayor. Please do not think this one little loss against Zohran in the primary is enough to make that man go cower in fear. They're just regrouping. They're gonna figure some shit out.
That's the part that's the part that I think and I appreciate how you said that, Olay, because if we're going to set any narrative, it's going to literally take every single leftist commentator in the game to combat what just MSNBC will be able to do against him when they bring in the entire Black misleadership class to go against him. So, I appreciate that. Yeah.
I think that it's time where we have to say, listen, this is the final chance that we do this peacefully. Back in 2020, Chris Matthews on MSNBC was saying that he was worried that if Bernie Sanders won the primary, there would be executions in Central Park. And we laughed it off. But there's going to be executions in Central Park. So this is the last chance at democratically electing socialists before we pull a Che Guevara. If you know what I mean. Like, what if we did that? Would that scare them at all?
I mean, if they actually screw him over,
out of Mike's mouth. I just don't use this.
I'm just kidding. I have nothing CIA who's watching. I'm just kidding.
You have allowed to be U.S. citizens and the threats they are making in the United States.
I just want to emphasize. CIA, I know you're watching. I am a limp-wristed homosexual. I'm not picking up a gun and leading a revolution. It's not me. I'm just kidding. Okay, I'm shit posting. So.
Oh my goodness.
I do wonder what the reaction would be, though, if they actually screw Zohran over. Like, the people would be freaking the hell out. Like, it would be just like I've actually been sort of, I don't know, maybe not impressed, but just surprised by some of the coverage. Like, MSNBC has been very positive on him so far. I mean, like, not Morning Joe, but like the primetime shows have covered it very positively. So I'd just be curious to see. This feels to me like a different situation than India Walton, where there's a lot more eyes, and I feel like Zohran has a lot more built-in support within New York, like Brad Lander doing the cross endorse, for example. Letitia James is supporting him. Jermaine Williams. Like, there's people within the city that have positions that are supporting him, that I feel like it's harder to screw him over because of that. But you don't know what the voters are going to do.
She needs to get on the campaign trail for him. She's going to be very important for him in the general election. She's got Letitia James.
Yeah. She's
the face of like Donald Trump's #1 enemy, like arch nemesis. And if she's out there campaigning with Mamdani, and I know she did endorse him, but she endorsed him as part of the working family slate. And, I don't think he was her first choice. I think Adrian Adams was. But still, it didn't matter because it was the whole slate she was telling people to vote for.
Was she? Because I know Brad was her #2. I think Zohran was her #1. I thought.
No, I think she said it was Adrian Adams, Brad Lander, Zohran Mamdani. But again, it didn't matter. Like, as long as you ranked, if you could have ranked Zohran #5, by the end of this campaign, it was quite clear that as long as you put Zohran on your ballot somewhere, that vote was and didn't put Cuomo before him, your vote was eventually going to Zohran. So like I didn't care when someone said they put him number 5. It was a vote for Mamdani. I counted it. But like she's going to be really important, I think, especially for a general election audience in New York City, who's probably going to be very emboldened to do whatever it takes to pick the choice that's going to be most anti-Trump. I think she's going to be really important. She's got to hit the trail with him.
And we'll be mobilizing on leftist independent media. We will be the main propaganda arm. I've done like 4 videos this week, 5 if you count Leftist Mafia with him in the thumbnail. I will mobilize. I will use every ounce of my platform to get that man elected, and I will be doing the same for Kat Abu Ghazala, Donovan McKinley, Dr. Abdul El Sayed. There's so many opportunities to elect good candidates now, because I think that one thing that gave me hope about the Zohran Mamdani race is that like the Democratic Party's base does genuinely seem a lot more radicalized, just because the establishment has failed and they're not fighting Donald Trump. So that does give me hope. When you see the polls of like, Chuck Schumer versus, I don't know if they actually, there was a poll indicating that he could lose a primary. I can't remember how they worded it specifically. And there's other polls showing that like most people in the Democratic Party want new leadership. That does give me a little bit of hope. Still, I'm not going to take anything for granted. I'm going to assume that this is going to be like the fight of our lives, even if he won the primary, because we've seen how many times the Democratic Party rat fucking election. Yes. They will do it again, because the establishment isn't just going to go silently into the night and just give up. You see, I think that you see some improvement. Like you see Democrats try to pay fealty to Mamdani, but not like endorsing him. Like you had Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries. They congratulated him, but they didn't explicitly endorse him. Like they're weighing their options right now. And I think that the donors, they're going to come together. So yeah.
I think everybody is too focused on what they think this race means for like the national party and the implications. And I think the right message that people should be getting is why local shit fucking matters. Because this is what I've been saying all along. Zohran Mamdani, while amazing, is not the needle in the haystack that he's being made out to be. There are lots of great New York City like progressives that we know, like the Chioses, like the Tiffany Gabons, and all these people that you can see their impact in this race. They're there. I think what this should be is that everybody focuses on what can be done when we focus locally and we focus on like educating people, because not for nothing, the last election, the Eric Adams win, is not just this reflection of like people weren't radicalized or that like we didn't have any of what we have now. What it was on top of being in a pandemic, ranked choice voting was new. People did not understand how it worked. There was not a lot of information or people getting it. We didn't do the same level of organizing around a slate. There was none of that. It was people picking individual candidates, and everybody was fighting, and mainstream media paid all their attention to Andrew Yang, and people like that's where the mainstream media attention was, and independent media was talking about Maya Wiley and talking about Diane Morales, but nobody was focusing on Eric Adams or who was a threat or understanding ranked choice voting. Versus this time, we learned our lesson. We figured out how it works. We see what's going on. We had more attention on it. We weren't distracted by a pandemic, protests, all these different things. And people said, oh, okay, I get how ranked choice voting now. I have to endorse as a slate. That's what like all the organizers on the ground did. That's what working families understood. And people actively campaigned against Andrew Cuomo and campaigned against Eric Adams. And that's what you got. People don't rank them. Versus Eric Adams and these people did not win. He did not win because everybody was supporting him and people loved him and shit like that. He got a million like third, fourth choice votes and all this, and just people not thinking about him. That's what it was. He slipped by. He just went unaccounted for. So I think that to me the lesson that should be here is how important and what we can accomplish when we focus locally, when we collaborate, and when we focus on teaching people what's going on, just making sure people understand this and what could happen when we do collaboration. That's my
I did that in our city in Vancouver. We all got behind a local election for a by-election, and we got a dishwasher communist elected who beat every corporate basically back candidate in the city. He was up against all of the media. He was up against everything, and it was just a platform similar to Zohran, where it was like there are more renters than there are owners. owners. So there's way more renters in the city than there are landlords. There are more workers than there are bosses. There's way more people who are just employees of someone else. If you unify all those parties together, we blew every other candidate out of the water. And like, that was just a by-election, but it was the same strategies, and it works because no one pays attention to this shit. There's like, what, 13, sometimes 17% turnout for local elections in your city or town, and that's what decides who the cops' budget will be. You know, like our Vancouver Police Department is determined by the local city council. That has way more effect on my life every day than the federal election will have in a lot of ways. So, I mean, concentrate on that, you know?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So, how long you'll be doing shows for?
If you want to do super chats, we can.
Oh yeah, it's already 10:12. Oh my god.
I'm like, you see, it's late. Y'all ain't tired. Oh my god, yawn.
Yeah, I'm tired. I'm always tired.
Well, you guys can stay for as long as you want, but before you go, even though everyone already knows who you are because you're super famous, both of you want to shout out your channels and where they can find you. And
Ben, you go first.
Okay, I'll go first. The Benjamin Dixon Show, we're actually streaming over there live. Got a nice little audience. Hey to everybody over there. Also, only thing I want to drop is email me at heypastorben@gmail.com. heypastorben@gmail.com. We've been getting some amazing questions. One of the first videos we put out is the answer to the question, do Christians have to support Israel? Is God requiring Christians to support Israel? We ripped that apart. So if you have questions about faith, religion, or the non-religion, or even all the way through artificial intelligence, or you just need someone to talk to, because we're getting a lot of questions. People just need someone to listen. Email me at heypastorben@gmail.com. That's it for me.
Hi, everybody. I have 6 channels, so let's do this.
You have what?
I have
6 channels?
You have 6 channels now?
What?
I have an Illuminati verse. Yeah, I do.
What? I gotta take a look.
You go look. Someone pull it up. Go on.
Last time I checked,
Illuminati.
I think it was 3. What the?
No, I have 6. Go on. If y'all pull it up on the screen, so it'd be easier for me to show people because I've had nobody can spell Illuminati. Please, someone pull it up on the screen where they can see so I can point them out. Show the Illuminati.
One of them is the Illuminati National. The other is the Illuminati Report.
Go on Illuminati. If you go on the homepage of my YouTube channel and just like scroll all the way down so you can see the Illuminati verse, and I'll tell you all my channels.
Oh my god! Wow! Look at the Illuminati Pop, Illuminati Bites.
Yes.
Ole and Friends, Ole and Chill, Illuminati Politics. Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Exactly.
My god.
So if y'all yeah, I have my main channel. Yeah, let's go. So that's main Illuminati. This is main Illuminati where I do Illuminati production. Scroll to the bottom. So that's my scroll all the way to the bottom. Watch it. All right. So the Illuminati verse, you see right there. So it's my main channel, Illuminati. Then I have Illuminati Pop, where I put out video essays every week on Illuminati Pop on like TV shows and characters and stuff like that. Real fun. It's my favorite channel. Then Illuminati Bites is my shorter takes. Then Ole and Friends is my podcast, Ole and Friends, that comes out every Sunday at 1:00. Ole and Chill is my podcast that comes out every Tuesday at 1:00. And Illuminati Politics is self-explanatory. So those are my channels. You should subscribe to them. They're all great. I love them.
I second that. They're amazing.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. And I have a before I go, I do my audience just shouted at me that there's some super chats on my side. So let me.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So shout out to
we might
Mike.
be able to bring them in, Ben.
Yeah. Can you? I don't know if.
Let me see. Who's the first name that you see?
Mike. Mike Alamode. I believe that's him.
Let me see if I can find Mike in there. Because if you linked, yeah,
I am linked in there. Yeah, and then I think there's more. Let me see if I can find the rest of, or maybe it is just one. But anyway, let me read it. Put it on the screen. A start is if we remind Black folks how much socialists were involved with civil rights movement. Also talk about LaGuardia being the best mayor. No, I agree. I think we absolutely have to strike at the two fears directly and debunk those fears. The fear of socialism is just absolutely ridiculous for any human being on the face of the planet to have a fear of socialism. We have to start there, especially in the Black community. We need to start there. And then the other fear I would say we have to strike at is the fear of Islam, which is the other thing I would say. Put me in touch with Zohran's camp, because I think there needs to be a very serious conversation about the beautiful intersection between Islam and Christianity, because if Zionism can get away with and Christian nationalists can get away with the lie of the Judeo-Christian values, which is not really a thing, but it's a branding that they use in order to promote white supremacy at the end of the day, then there's plenty of room and space for I really have been researching this. There is a beautiful alliance between what Christianity is and what Islam is in their purest, most beneficial to humanity form. Obviously, we have our edges of both of our faiths that are very detrimental, but right there, I think at the intersection of what Zohran represents, I think there's a conversation that needs to be had, because we have to debunk the fear of socialism as well as the fear of Islam to help them win and get over the hurdle in November. So that's it for me that I can see.
Well,
is there any other?
I see this one.
Solidarity from across the pond. Thank you, Sat Nav. And I think I saw one from Tiger. Do you see one from Tiger? There it is.
Yeah.
Let the establishment know loudly Zohran is the compromise. That part. Zohran is the compromise. And if I was one more, I keep saying one thing. This is what pastors do forever. They always say this is the last thing, and then they talk for 10 more minutes. I think we have to, and I know I said it at the top, I don't want to say it at the bottom. We have to put the fear of God in the establishment and let them know that a huge percentage, all of us progressives as a block, will completely stand down and do to them what they do to Zohran. And I think we need to put that out front as a act of mutually assured destruction, as a deterrent, because if they think that they can get away with sandbagging and sabotaging him the way they did India Walton, then they need to understand that we're going to return in kind in 2026. I don't care about the midterms. I don't care about MAGA taking over and going even further when the Democrats have shown that they will be not only complicit with MAGA, but they will sandbag and sabotage any opportunity for progress. So that's it for me.
Yeah, that's important, because there's no going back from this if they're able to steal this or take this away from voters. So yeah, I agree with you, Ben, that we do have to draw a line. I do see one more for you, Ben.
Oh, great.
From
Keep
Charlie.
them coming. Good to see you on Leftist Mafia, Ben. Thanks, Charlie. Appreciate you. Love you. Mean it.
Also, I want to point out, I meant to mention this earlier, but you just reminded me with your talking about that. A lot of these Democrats that have come out and actually have congratulated Zohran have not actually endorsed him. Like, we should be clear.
Yeah.
Like, the congratulations on your win is not the same as I'm telling all my constituents to vote for you. This is the guy. We've seen a congrats from Schumer and Jeffries and Rep. Grace Ming of Flushing. We've seen it from a number of different people who have not actually endorsed. So we got to make it clear that, if you're not
play that game,
if you're not endorsing, if you're not vote blue, no matter who,
it's
when
dead.
It's the other way around, then that's it. This whole charade is over.
Yeah, and I think we have to put some teeth into it, like some real oomph behind it, so that they can understand. Like, people who held out. I held out for a long time. I held out in 2016 because I knew Trump was a threat. I voted for Hillary in 2016. I voted for Biden in 2020. I voted for Biden in 2024. There's none of that going forward, and I think every leftist platform needs to make that clear. What you do to Zohran in November is exactly what we're going to do to you. It's tit for tat. It's game theory, however you want to accept it. It's not us being petty. It's not us whining. It's us returning to you what you give to us, because anything less than that would be foolish on our part.
Right.
Exactly.
I think that's why Kamala lost in 2024, Ben, if you accidentally voted for Biden.
Yeah, you know what I mean. There you go. There you go. Listen, her she had 90 days to campaign. It didn't even stick in my head. I went and voted for whoever was on the ticket.
I think we just found out that Ben Dixon was officially a riding with Biden guy. He wrote Joe Biden in.
I wrote Joe Biden in, and that was the vote that took it down.
Stole it from him. It should have been Joe the whole time.
Listen, matter of fact, I might have even mistakenly written that in the article on Substack. Let me go edit that real quick. Hey, folks. Hey, thank y'all so much for letting me hang out. Ole, I have a new phone number and new email.
I want you to know I texted you this year. I was like, Ben, don't fuck with me.
Oh, I do.
Hold on. Let me put my number in. Yeah, right, so right now, so you could get it right now. You could just
and
text
I'll
me
do
your
that
number.
too. All right.
And I was like, that's so crazy how Ben don't fuck with me. I told her back, I was like, Ben don't text me back.
Did she tell you I have a new phone and I like my
You
old
tell me?
phone?
I said, Ben don't text me back. Rebecca was like, child, Ben be busy.
Oh, come on, Rebecca. It's not that. It's like I broke my phone and I didn't get it fixed for a year. Then I just said, hey, I don't need it. So now I use my wife's phone. So I'll call you from my wife's phone.
Good. I have
right.
Cleophas. Sorry, that's my dog.
See y'all later.
I love your dog.
Take care.
Take care, Ben.
Hi, Ben.
Yes.
Come say hi.
They're adorable. And I love your shirt, by the way, Ole.
Dragon Ball Z shirt? Thank you.
Dragon Ball Z shirt. I'm rewatching
Cleophas,
Dragon Ball Z
say
right
hi.
now. I'm almost finished.
Cleophas, tell the people hi. You've been telling them hey against my will all episode. This is me and CJ's dog, Cleophas.
I was like, Chico just came in too.
His name is
Chico too. Here, let me get
Cleophas
mine.
James.
Yeah, it's a dog show now.
She wanted to say hi earlier too.
So cute, he's so Frenchy. His little body is white, but his head is gray. He's so cute. That's Raheem is still with me. Y'all killing
She's
him
my
off.
muscle mommy.
Cleophas, could you stop knocking over my Funko Pops, please?
Do you see the
Goodbye.
doggy? Do you see the doggy?
Like, I'm like, he knocking. You see Dexter just came flying.
Mr. Poopy.
Oh. I had a Mr. Meeseeks Funko Pop that fell off the top shelf and broke, so.
It broke? Oh, no. None of my
the
Funkos
legs
are-
snapped off.
Oh, no.
Cleophas, I'm going to call your father. Stop it, man. You knocking my stuff over.
No, you're tired.
What's the problem with Dexter? He keeps throwing him over.
David, do you want me to go? I only have a few. I could run to them pretty quick.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can go. I only got
Okay.
one. I streamed on my second channel today, but you can go ahead.
Okay. Parker, thank you for the $5. Trump lost the popular vote in 2016 and 2020 when Cenk was willing to admit most Trump voters are what destroys his own arguments. Oh, yeah. I was watching a video by Cenk earlier where him and Anna called out the left for not supporting Trump, the anti-war president. It was pretty weird.
What? So I saw the Vanguard's coverage of that. That was wild.
Did you see him under Charlie Kirk's post on Twitter, like trying to like reason with him? Like, are you what out of your goddamn mind?
Honestly, this is embarrassing.
It's so embarrassing.
I feel like after watching that Crystal Kyle debate, like I actually question, like, is he in cognitive decline? Like, something seriously, physically,
because it's not
neurologically
benefiting
wrong.
him financially. He's just out of his mind. Like, he's lost it.
It's what they're doing.
Rachel Atwood, thank you for the $2. How much did the hot weather affect turnout? I don't know. Matt, do you know the answer to that?
Incredible turnout. No, it was like record turnout. Wasn't it?
It was. I don't think it was record, but it was definitely bigger than last time.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I thought the turnout.
Yeah,
there was a lot of turnout.
It was.
I didn't think that he was going to affect. Ow, Cleophas! Could you get your nose?
I think the heat did affect it somewhat. I mean, I don't know how much, but
he's a
it certainly
pervert. Y'all
upset
don't know my
people who
dog is
didn't
a
vote.
pervert. He likes to lick people's toes and fingers, and he's a nasty.
Feel unsafe crowd are busy right now.
Oh, hello, kitty. Look at my kitty is saying hello too.
A nasty pervert, and he doesn't like consent. Like if you watch, right, you see he kind of snip at me because he want to like lick my fingers and like bite my hand. But if I actually give it to him and without resisting, he's like, I don't want that. Like, see, watch. If I give it to him,
I saw that.
He's like, no, I want you to resist. See, he coming for it, but if I give it to him, he's like, no, I don't want that.
Oh my god!
Exactly.
I saw that. That's funny.
Pervert.
Rachel Atwood, thank you for the other $5. Hey, Matt, thanks for going on Turn Left to talk about mayoral elections and boosting their numbers. Maybe Curtis D could be a guest on Leftist Mafia at some point.
Yeah.
And finally, Rachel, thank you for the last $2. Where did Byron Brown get his money in November 2021? I have no idea.
Republicans.
Also, thank you, Janet, for the community sub, and thank you, Stay Puff, for resubscribing. That's all of them I have on both. So go nuts, David, or
sure. I just got a couple here. Lawn Gnomes, thank you for your super chat. Friendly reminder that JD Vance memes in the U.S. are somehow worse than Winnie the Pooh pictures in other anti-free speech countries. Yeah, there was like a what was it, like a Norwegian guy who like couldn't get in the country because he had a JD Vance meme on his phone. At least that was their ISIS claiming, oh no, it's because he admitted to drug use. Like that's not any better. Like that gets you kicked out too. But
it was a funny meme too.
Kowalski, Mike, on behalf of David, I want to apologize for all straights for his failure to show solidarity during Pride Month. Seriously, David, no assless cheeks pants once on stream. Not an ally. Shake my head.
He might be wearing them right now, for all you know. And David's not one of the straights fully.
Yeah, dude, your information is incorrect.
He's a member of the LGBT. I don't know how to.
The Alphabet Mafia.
Yeah. The LGBT. Okay, do you want to go, Matt, or do you want me to go?
You can go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much to John Lithium. So gracious with another gifted membership. John, thank you so much. Always appreciated. Let's see here. We have Pierce, who says, I just wanted to say I really appreciate you and many other progressives in this fight for a better America. Thank you. What a kind comment. Thank you so much. 180K Chan says, how will the Republican attack Mamdani if is he super communist? No, he is a ludicrous communist. We must make the Democrat Party go to plaid.
I don't understand what you're saying.
I appreciate the spirit, but I'm not 100% following.
Okay, I was like, did it just go over me? Am I a boomer?
No, it's I love the spirit of it, but I don't know what the takeaway is. Thank you though. Thank you to Johnny for becoming a member. Constantine says, stop watching Jank and Anna, Mike. You wouldn't have been shocked. Oh, I'm way ahead of you, bud. I only watch it through like the Vanguard if they do something and then the Vanguard talks about it. I haven't watched the main show in a very, very long time. Same. Jeremy says, popping in to say hi, but gonna go play some Split Fiction with my roommate before prepping for the retail slave grind. Love you all. Love you too. Have fun with Split Fiction. That is a fun game, and thanks for becoming a member. Adam says, I feel like once Ken Martin.
They said, I think the chat saying it was a Spaceballs reference, the plaid thing, but what is Spaceballs?
Oh, I've never seen Spaceballs. I know what movie that is, but I never saw the full thing.
It's a movie. Let me Google it. Spaceballs.
Yeah, it's like a Star Wars parody with Rick Moranis, I think, or is it James Moranis, the guy from Honey I Shrunk the Kids?
Are you doing a bit, Brett? You guys have never seen Spaceballs? What?
I saw part of it. I just never watched the whole thing. Like my family was watching it when I was really young, but I wasn't like paying attention. I know what it is though.
Did you watch Moesha?
Yeah,
I watched Moesha actually. Yeah, I bought Marcus Houston's albums and shit. I was a fan of all of them.
The answer was supposed to be a resounding no. Here go these white gay men. Yes.
Do you have tickets to the Brandy and Monica tour? Do you have tickets to the Brandy Monica tour? Huh?
Yeah, there's like a shit ton of big movies I've never I've seen Spaceballs, but I didn't say anything because it's like there's so many movies I haven't seen. I've never seen a single Rocky movie. I've never seen what else haven't I seen? Like there's lots of things I have not seen that are like huge. So I'm not one to talk.
Ask if I've seen Moesha. Brandy was my okay, they say every gay man has an idol that they look up to and then they live for that person. I feel like Brandy was probably mine as a little kid.
Oh really?
I love Brandy. And I remember the Cinderella that she was in with Whitney Houston.
I was going to say, I saw her Cinderella too. That was
before
I
didn't like Cinderella, but I liked that one. That's the only musical that I think I really liked just because it was Brandy.
I've actually never seen Black Cinderella, but my boarding school roommate bought me the VHS to Brandy Cinderella. She was white and she assumed that I know and love Brandy Cinderella because it's black, but I have never seen it, and I still haven't because I don't have a VHS. But I kept the tape. But I have the tape. I appreciated the gift. I love
my mom recorded it off the TV. She just had I don't know how she with a VCR. She recorded it with the commercials and everything. So I watched it that way. We pirated it.
Well, actually, CJ, I'm gonna try and get CJ to watch it when we're done here.
Okay, Adam says, I feel like once Ken Martin comes out of his crying room, the DNC might do something like set up a PAC to support Trump Jr. for mayor and the general. Hey, don't put it past him. Sharon says, the DNC belongs to us. Take it over. Yeah, that's the energy that I'm bringing. This is our party now. Get the fuck out. Thank you so much, Sharon, for the generous super chat.
We need to embrace it. It's the Omega woke era. And now, wokeness will take over the world.
Dark woke. Like I want the wokest of the woke. Like it's our party. We're taking it over, and there's gonna be disco space communism by 2028. Now that we're in charge. Grace says, "Hey, love you guys. My faith is beginning to tentatively be restored. Thanks for not giving up the fight and telling it like it is. Left is best." Hey, thanks so much. I kind of feel the same way right now. Simone says, "What do you think about Jasmine Crockett being sidelined for Rep Garcia? She only got 6 votes. What the fuck?" Yeah, that was. It was sad to see, but I'm not gonna lie, it's not surprising because any Democrat who is kind of like a superstar or an emerging like rising star in the party, they always sideline. So they can't let anyone who's popular like Jasmine Crockett take a leadership position. So I wasn't surprised. But yeah, 6 votes is kind of it's kind of a fuck you to her because she's like, I have my policy disagreements with her and I dislike a lot of what she votes on, but I think that she's a very effective communicator. So it's you know, it's the Democrats, right? Autistic Goblin says the Dems are experiencing the same extinction burst that we are seeing in the fascist party. They see the end and they are fighting tooth and nail, and we cannot let up. Yeah, absolutely. They're dinosaurs, and they see the asteroid right now. Thank you, Goblin. That's a generous super chat. Ryan says voting data showed that Zohran did really well in Dan Goldman, Grace Ming, and Hakeem Jeffries' districts. Time to primary some APEC shields. Yeah, that is really that's something to behold.
I wanted to get rid of Richie Torres. That's what I think we should focus on.
Yes,
on destroying. I plan to make that it's on my agenda.
Well, I mean, Dan Goldman is going to be an easy pickup if Brad Lander runs. So that's a one to look at.
I hope Lander runs. He's great.
I love Brad Lander.
He was a big help in this, honestly. Like,
he really is awesome.
I do think like him staying in, which you can do with ranked choice voting, and endorsing Mamdani and being such a strong like supporter of Mamdani and defending him, I really do think like when we see what the final vote is after the eliminations through the rounds, I think we're going to see a lot of people voted for Mamdani through Brad Lander. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was all like the legitimate strategy of the Working Families Party. I talked about in the most recent video I put on Illuminati politics. I have like 2 of the Working Family representatives there, and they talked about how they actively went like with the Working Families Party in the room, like got these people to run. We're gonna run as a slate, do it like this. So it very much so was an active collaboration. We're gonna put ego aside and get to the forefront of that. So that was to that shout out to Brand, but also shout out to Zellner and Michael Blake and Adrian Adams, because they all made the executive decision to run to make it possible for Zohran to win, because it would not have been possible without the, you know what I mean, the whole slate working together like that. So shout out to the Working Families Party and shout out to everybody else on the slate, you know, except fuck Jessica Ramos, fuck Scott Stringer and all of them.
Stephen Colbert too.
Yeah, fuck Stephen Colbert. Like, Jesus Christ. On that note, Ryan says Lander got a lot of love, but shout out to Zelnor Myrie to tell Cuomo to go fuck himself when Cuomo tried to force a cross endorsement with Myrie.
Yes, absolutely. Like, shout out to Zellner. I love Zellner. And Zellner, I'm like, behind the scenes, like, originally, no one wanted to run. I want to say this like 2 years ago when everybody started meeting me, no one wanted to run. And Zellner was one of the first people anybody got to step up and run to even like challenge it. Originally, Jessica Ramos was one of the only people running, and she actively, like, behind the scenes, like, she don't want shit to do with the left. And so there was an actual push, like organizers on the ground, to get these people to run, and what Working Families Party did. So they like selflessly decided, I'm going to run a whole fucking campaign to make this possible by us running as a team effort, running the slate. So they really should be getting Zelna Mari, and all of them should be getting a lot of praise too.
Right.
Hawk says, y'all do anything fun special for Juneteenth? Was at a celebration in Wilsonville and unexpectedly saw Tina Kotek. Love to Ole and Ben. Great to see you. I did not do anything. I was doing a video that day and then what I usually do, which is play video games. But that's funny you saw Tina Kotek there. You never see her doing anything. Tina Kotek, for those who don't know, is our governor in Oregon. And she's just like so milquetoast and boring. I think our other governor, Kate Brown, was better. And I think I like her. Not that they're that different substantively. They're both like very regular standard Democrats. But the fact that Kate Brown like triggered so many conservatives because she was not fucking around with COVID. She had mask mandates and shit like that. I respected that she never backed down and she took it seriously. At least comparatively speaking. Okay, the next one is from Rolando, who says, looks like Pastor Manning won't be the next mayor. Oh, that's right. Pastor Manning was running. Oh,
we forgot about him. He's the semen guy, right?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
If Zohran wasn't running, I would have ranked him if I lived in New York City. Pastor Manning.
What was it? Starbucks is putting semen in the coffee to make it more tempting for people because he thinks semen is delicious and wants it in his coffee. Dude, that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
You would have had my vote.
Where was he running though? He wasn't running in the primary, obviously. Maybe he's still running.
Oh, maybe. He's running like, I love how his campaign is like vehemently anti-gay, anti-trans, but like extremely like pro working class.
It's really weird.
It's fucking insane. No mention of Starbucks on the platform though.
Cleophas is
oh wait, he hold on, he's got a video on Mamdani.
What is he saying about Mamdani?
Should we watch it?
Cleophas is mad.
Here, I'll drop it in the
sure.
What'd you say?
Ollie, have you ever heard of Pastor Manning?
No,
Oh my god.
Well, see, I told
This
you
is
the
a
dog
guy-
is mad. Cleophas is like making demands.
Is he really? I did see him stand up on you.
Y'all can't hear him barking? Oh,
No.
the mic is barking. He's shouting.
Wait,
at
the
you.
mic is probably canceling it out. Damn.
Showed him how you're like yelling at people. Look at him. Look at him threatening people behind there. Like,
are you pulling it
Yeah,
up?
I'm
Mike?
pulling it in right now. Yeah. Okay.
Boy wouldn't know his butthole from a hole in the ground. That boy was able to promote a free ride in New York City, and the young people went for a hook, line, and sinker. I mean, what kind of gullible fool, anyway, would believe that you can get a free bus ride? Lord have mercy on my soul. How many chickens have I stole? One last night and two before, and going back tonight to steal some more. A free bus ride? Every time I think about how ludicrous that is, you get a free ride and you're in prison or something, or you're in some communist nation, and the government runs everything and takes your money, so you don't have any money to give them.
I know that's the most offensive part about his platform.
You know, it's funny. Like, if he weren't out here trying to advocate against us having a progressive vision, it would be like a nice testament to how little government does. People feel served by the government that they cannot believe or fathom that they would ever make good on any such a thing. Like, he cannot believe that any like politician, a government official would ever give us something as minimal as free bus rides, which is a scathing indictment, you know, on the government. Because I mean, it's because he's never seen it before why it's so crazy to him, but it's not crazy. But he is, yes.
I will say the fan that you could hear in the background along with him dripping sweat, it's so relatable as somebody who films videos with like all the studio lights cooking you. So he's much more like he's starting to win me over. Like I would vote for him. He would probably stone me literally, but I would still consider supporting his campaign if he were to run up here.
He will improve the taste of coffee. So
that's true. That's true. Hey, Pastor Manning, if you need any coffee, hit me up.
The devil has interposed this liar, this con man, this slickster. Got everybody jumping up and down talking about a free bus ride when everybody knows there ain't no such thing as a free ride. But yet, he's able to penetrate the foolishness and ignorance. Send me down to City Hall.
The words he uses.
Make a donation. This Mohammed Mamdani boy.
Okay, so
I
was not expecting him to.
Where is he running?
He's running for mayor of New York City.
Mayor. Yeah.
Oh, up here. Oh.
This guy runs like some like smallish, I guess, congregation in Harlem. He's like obviously not all there. It seems bizarre, but he made headlines previously for these things he said about LGBTQ people. And so when we were covering him last time, we discovered he was running for mayor. And so that's why we brought him up
down the
again.
rabbit hole.
Yeah.
When he was being interviewed with David Pakman, he said where he was, and David Pakman said, "What's the scene like out there?" And then he said, "What?" And then David said, "What's the scene like out there?" And he said, "Did you just ask me what the semen is like?" This
Wait a second, hold on.
is the
I'm
wildest
looking at
shit
his-
ever.
I'm looking at his website, and his whole thing in this video is how there's no free ride, right? He's making fun of the idea that we would make public transportation free, right? Two of his policies are getting rid of congestion pricing and then removing the toll. It's very specific. Removing the toll on the Verrazano Narrows Bridge. So basically, no free ride if you need public transportation. But if you have a car and you drive, he wants you to have a free ride. It's incredible. These people make no sense. Anyone who hates these democratic socialist policies have their own policies that completely go in denial of their own critiques.
I must bid y'all adieu, because not only am I a Thai body gal fighting for my life, but as y'all can see, Cleophas grows enraged by the minute. Like he's mad as fuck. You see him? Look, he's gonna kill his monkey because I'm taking too long to come to. Look.
I love him.
I know, right? We love him too. He's a
So
sweetheart.
cute.
Yeah, he's our little baby. We do love him. He is great.
Aw.
Raheem hates his fucking guts. Raheem
Really?
hates his ass.
Dang.
Hate him. Hates. As soon as Raheem don't do nothing but make scary sounds, as soon as he's him like Asada and him have a better relationship. Asada is like nicer.
Really?
Like yes,
Wow.
Asada is better. Yes, Raheem carrying on bad. Like Asada, like they like hiss and play fight, like, but like they're playing, they like it, and to the point where like I realized that at first I used to think Asada like didn't fuck with him, and then I realized she'll come up on him, like go in his area so that she could act like he's bothering her, like so she could visit him. And he was asleep the other day. She jumped on the couch to bother him, and when she realized he was asleep, she hit him like squawk, like I'm here, like scream so I can scream. like meanwhile, Raheem like waits around like behind stuff on air back, and me starts making fucked up sounds, attacking people. You see, I'm here, right here. I got a cut right here from where Raheem wounded me trying to fuck Cleophas up.
What?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, not
He runs his house
Raheem.
with an iron fist. It's getting worse as he gets older. He is not interested in compromising or accommodating in any way. And it's gonna get worse. We took him to the vet the other day. They like Raheem getting old. He gonna have to he had dental surgery the other day. We had to take like 4 teeth. Now they're talking about he's gonna have to lose all his teeth. And so I know he's gonna come in here. Don't all him, because every time Raheem gets a new inkling that he's older, he carries on worse. He's just in the house like, oh, I don't gotta be nice to nobody. I don't gotta do nothing. And now he has multiple cat trees, so he just lords himself over every room. He's at the top of every cat tree like this. Just but love y'all. This was so nice. Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you for coming. It's
great
been so
seeing you.
fun.
Bye everyone.
Thank you.
Take care. Come back
It's great
anytime.
to have you. Absolutely.
I'm gonna get off too. I'm just yawning
okay.
a lot. I don't have a dog as an excuse. But look at all these games I need to be playing. So
I
that's
see
why I
that,
gotta go.
David. Yeah, I'm like, oh, David's got the shelf up. I see the Nintendo 64, the Wavebird controller. David is flexing on us.
The
Nintendo 64.
Donkey
You playing
Konga
64?
bongos right there.
Yeah, Donkey Kong. I don't know where my bongos are. I had 2 pairs of those. I don't know if I still have them.
You had 2 pairs.
I bought it
More
from
hardcore than
Donkey
I
Kong
was.
Jungle Beat and Donkey Konga. So I had 2
Oh
of them.
yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Well, good night, everybody.
Take care, David. Okay, I don't have too much left, I don't
No.
think. There's a super sticker from Adrian. It's just a coin with a star on it. Thank you so much for that. And then another gifted membership from John Lithium. John, thank you so much again. I really appreciate it. Again, you don't ever have to do this. You do it every single week, but really appreciate it. You don't have to. Sam says, have you seen Sinners yet? It's now on streaming. I will watch Sinners. I finally watched movies. I watched the Minecraft movie and I watched Mickey 17 because I just read the book and I wanted to see it. So I'm back to watching movies because I finished The Sopranos after like months and months. So I'll check it out and I'll let you know how I like it, Sam. Adrian, no message, but thank you so much. Dirty Pirate says, kids in 2011 watching that Eric Adams vid, hastily taking notes on all the cool places to hide drugs and weapons. That video is so good. Sam says, also, though on a Republican rep wanting the DOJ to arrest Zohran, is that even possible? Because their Islamophobia and fascism is mask off times 100. Yeah, I don't think that that's going to go anywhere. Andy Ogles is the same guy, if you'll recall, who introduced the constitutional amendment so Trump could serve a third term. He is somebody who is not serious. He introduces these kinds of things all the time. They go nowhere, so I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I just think that it's cope. And it's still disgustingly racist, but I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Let's see here. We have Jones City, who says Zohran now needs to find 5 teenagers with attitude. Blue.
Very funny.
Blue says, that was funny, Mike. I cracked up. Central Park. Mwahaha. You right. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. It was just a joke, though, to be clear. I would never advocate for violence, ever. Archangel says, love seeing you, Ole, and your hat is really cute. Rachel Atwood, thanks for mentioning Donovan McKinney. You're welcome. Yeah, I plan on doing a video about other candidates running for Congress. So if you all have any that I don't know of, well, you won't know if I know about them or not, but send them to me on Twitter or Blue Sky so that way I can include them in the video. I'll probably do that like next week or something when there's a slower news day. Chris says, does Zohran's victory affect the calculus for AOC if making choice between Senate and governor? I honestly don't know what AOC is planning. The seat is hers if she wants to challenge Schumer. My thinking is maybe she wants to run for president in 2028. I don't know. I hope she does make a move because now is the time to act. So we'll see what happens. Red Fire Blue says we need a troll army to push back on the lies. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. No matter how small, we've got to confront these lies. Tim, thank you so much for the generous $20 super chat. Is there now a path for ranked choice voting to be more implemented in much more primaries and hopefully more local elections towards the hope of this happening in federal elections one day? If so, what can we do? So what I will say, not to sound like too much of a downer, is the fact that ranked choice voting was so good for the left, the establishment is going to fight against it. One thing that you can do is try to push for ballot initiatives if you live in a state where you can get referendums, because that's the way you do these things.
I mean, the fact of the matter is, though, that ranked choice voting didn't matter at the end of the day. Zohran won in the first round. Like, none of the other candidates' votes have been distributed yet. Cuomo dropped out because Zohran completely blew him out in the first round. You know, if this was not a ranked choice voting election, Zohran Cuomo would have conceded because this was it. This was done. It was a done deal.
Right.
Ranked choice voting probably helped in terms of the cross endorsements, but at the same time, if Brad Lander's cross endorsement meant something to you, you probably put Brad Lander. For Zohran Mamdani, if Brad Lander's cross endorsement meant something for you, and that's why you would rank Mamdani, you probably still put Lander first. Again, I think Brad Lander helped out a lot, but at the same token, Zohran didn't win because of ranked choice voting.
That's a good point. Yeah, what I do appreciate though about ranked choice voting was the collaboration between the candidates, the way that they had a slate, the way that Brad Lander and Zohran Mamdani were campaigning together. Imagine if in 2020 we had ranked choice voting. Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren could have been collaborating. Instead, she was a snake to him because she wanted to, become the preeminent progressive leader in the country. I think that ranked choice voting is a much better system. Even better than ranked choice voting is STV, which is single transferable vote. It's a little bit more complicated to understand, but it's like ranked choice voting, but even more fair and proportional. But I'll go for ranked choice voting too. I just think that the first past the post is a very, very bad system. Red Fire Blue Ice. By the way, love the Death Note shirt, Mike. Phenomenal anime. Yes, I love Death Note. For those who cannot see, this is the Shin Megami. He's very tiny here, but he's there. Love Death Note. The next one is Tim Sim. Thank you, Tim. Me hearing about the dismantling of the fear of socialism equals undoing the damage done for decades by the legacy of Joe McCarthy. That's very true. it's a lot of Cold War era panic that still exists in older generations too. That's a huge part of it, and I think that trying to help older people unlearn that and familiarize social security for the socialism for them, and point out how social security is socialism, Medicare is socialism, programs that they like, so that way it doesn't feel so foreign and authoritarian. That is one way to help. Let me see. I just lost my place. Here we go. Pendulous Dragon, thanks for being a member for 20 months. A very long time. Lizzie says, has anyone mentioned the so-called home of progressives TYT didn't even do a story on Mamdani until he won the primary? Really? Huh.
I did see that during the election, Cenk was still ranting on Twitter about like, oh, the so-called left can't accept that the MAGA commune, blah, blah, and all this shit. And I was like, I almost replied. I was like, I don't care about your grift right now. Zoran's about to win. Life is amazing.
Yeah, right. How are you seething still? I've been on cloud 9 all week. I still feel pretty good. Like, I feel energized still. I don't know what he's on about. My God. He's just, his head is so far up his own ass. He can't smell the roses or think of anything but people being mean to him. It's crazy.
Yep.
Lizzie Bennett says, nice shirt, Ole. Vegeta's the best character. I don't like Vegeta. He's a killer. I will say, though, that his son Trunks is hilarious. I also like...
Piccolo's better than Vegeta.
Yeah, I agree with that. He's a reformed fascist who is very much a progressive. I think Goten's is... I'm in the portion now where it's right before the Majin Buu arc, and Goten and Trunks are competing in the tournament, and they're super, super funny. So they're probably my favorite characters, like young Trunks. But also, you can't go wrong with Piccolo. Also King Kai. A lot of great characters. Also Chi-Chi's hilarious too.
Never a big follower of Dragon Ball, but Piccolo is always really cool.
It was the only anime that I've ever seen, or actually read. I guess I read the manga, and I didn't know until I became a streamer how many weebs are on the internet, because they're always asking for my like anime recommendations or bona fides, and I have none. I'm like, I haven't seen any of them. I call like Hunter X Hunter. It's not even called Hunter X Hunter. It's called Hunter Hunter, right? And I call it Hunter times Hunter or Hunter X Hunter, and then like, oh my god, you do not know what you're talking about, Lance.
I feel like I have gotten more anime bona fides over the years, but if you put me head to head with a real anime person, I'm getting BTFO'd. I'm looking like a clown. So I've watched some animes, but I'm not by any means huge into that world. I love One Piece. It's like one of my favorites. I've seen like Death Note and whatnot, but I'm still very, very much a noob. I don't think the kids are using that. I'm a novice.
I mean, if you watch One Piece, you put your hours in, right? One Piece is what, like 800 or 900 episodes or something?
It is 1,300 episodes now, I think.
Oh, sorry. I apologize.
It took more than 2 years to get through that. Thoughts on Mario Kart World? I love Mario Kart World. I think it's so much fun. I'm terrible at it. The online knockout tour mode is extremely fun, but my god, it is chaotic as fuck. I think I probably put maybe like 12, 15 hours into Mario Kart World, specifically the online, and I've won one match. It is so unhinged, but it's a lot of fun. You just have to go into it knowing that you're probably not going to win and just enjoy the time you have, because you're gonna get enjoy the ride. You're gonna get clapped soon. Let me see here. Going to plaid is Spaceballs. Thank you. I know, man. You all drop these references, and then I get attacked for not watching a movie. You all set me up. Okay, you put me in a corner. Albert Hughes says, I'm disappointed at the 128 Democrats who voted against impeaching the criminal rapist in office. Ted Lieu, whom I once admired, is one of them. That was also something that I wanted to talk about this week, but didn't get the chance to. Yeah, I mean, that's just embarrassing. That includes Democratic Party leadership, too. Hakeem Jeffries did not vote to impeach Trump. It's just, what is the point of them? They're so useless.
Also, it was Al Green's...
it was Al Green again.
Yeah.
He's one of the few Democrats just fighting.
Yeah, they constantly just leave him hanging. Like, I get it. It wasn't going to actually impeach Trump, but send the message.
Send a message.
Exactly. Yeah.
Republicans were doing that weekly with, like, you know, Obama and Joe Biden.
They voted to repeal the Affordable Care Act. Wasn't it like dozens of times when Obama was president? It was going to go nowhere. But what Republicans do is they puff out their chests and they try to scare Democrats. They're always fighting, whereas Democrats, they cower in the corner and they don't want to offend the Republicans. I'm so sick of it. The next one is from Rajan. Rajan says, Kia ora, Zohran got media coverage here in New Zealand. No kidding. Wow. That's encouraging. Karina, thank you for becoming a new member. Lizzie says, NY are here. NY are in NYC here. I can tell you for a fact you can get a free bus ride in the city, most of which are illegal, but there are ways, Matt and Olay know. I mean, you can get free bus rides in Portland. I don't think I've ever paid for a Max. I mean, it's been a long time since I've taken the Max, but you just get on and you hope that they don't check your ticket. So, yeah. JJ says, I live in Florida where the great Anna Paulina Luna is my rep. I'm sorry, JJ. Wish we had a Zohran there because Florida Dems suck. Also joined DSA. It's worth it. Thank you so much for the message. Chris, I'm almost done, I believe, here, too. Yeah, we've got 2 left. Chris says Elizabeth Warren was a snake for not throwing a young woman under the bus when Sanders did his patriarchal duty of letting a grown woman know sexism exists. We got to do better and leave that behind. I'm not sure what you're referring to. It's the wording confuses me, but that's not. So you're misremembering what happened. Elizabeth Warren accused Bernie Sanders of being sexist because she claims in a private conversation, Bernie told her that he didn't believe a woman could win the presidency. That is complete and utter bullshit because in 2015...
And I was right. Look what happened to Kamala. I was right.
Well, okay, 2015, and we know Elizabeth Warren either is lying or misinterpreted what he said because back in 2014, 2015, do you remember the We Want Warren campaign? Bernie Sanders was part of that. He was trying to get Elizabeth Warren to challenge Hillary Clinton in the primary because he wanted somebody who was more progressive to run. And since she refused, that's when Bernie Sanders stepped up. So if he told her this, it would have been contradicting what he said to her. He literally is publicly on the record saying Elizabeth Warren should run. So that whole narrative is complete and utter bullshit. And what Elizabeth Warren did in lying about him, or maybe communicating a miscommunication, was fucked up, legitimately so. So I'm not going to put that behind because that was a snake-ass move, and fuck Elizabeth Warren for that to this day.
I want you to take a look around you. Look at the person right next to you. Look at them and tell me you will fight for somebody you do not know. Unless, of course, they are a woman running for president. Then you will not fight for her because she cannot do it. Okay, folks?
I got a couple more that came in. Kowalski, I see the snake emojis in the chat. Fuck yeah, that's my energy. Elizabeth Warren was she was in the wrong to this day. I will never concede that point.
She congratulated Mamdani for winning, and I think she endorsed him. But I mean, very safely after he won. Like, I'm sorry. Of course,
that's Elizabeth Warren.
She could. I mean, I don't know if it would have mattered, but still, it would have been.
She's not willing to put her neck on the line.
There should have been a groundswell of support for him from the left, and props to AOC and to Bernie for endorsing him. And all those people who thought AOC wasn't going to endorse him were calling her all sorts. It was so clear she was going to get involved. She endorsed at the absolute perfect time. She knew what she was doing.
Chris has another follow-up to that. Let me get to that, and I'll come back to it. No man, especially no saintly politician, has ever spoken out of both sides of his mouth, and Warren didn't say it until an intern leaked it. Bernie didn't even deny it. How dare a woman see a microaggression? Bernie did deny it. Go back and watch the debate. Bernie did deny it. She literally went on stage and confronted him after it was done. Like, she made a big show out of it.
On stage at a debate.
Yeah.
It's very.
And on top of that, she went on media, or somebody interviewed her. I don't know where this was. She was like in a grocery store or something. And she was shitting on Bernie supporters, calling them sexist for attacking her. Like, she was a straight up snake, man. I seriously recommend you go back and you watch some of our videos about it back then. She did him dirty. It was like her playing the card of, oh my God, his supporters are just so like misogynistic. That's some bullshit right there. That was cynical as fuck. I promise you, if you watch the videos that we did back then, you'll remember it was really bad what she did.
I see people saying I hold a grudge against it. I actually don't. I tend to like Warren, actually, which is why it was so disappointing what played out. And
that was my point.
As senator, I still support her. I just think she's not, she doesn't put herself out there in solidarity with other progressives as much as she could or should. Also, she stayed in the race till the very end when it was crystal clear she was done. She was out. It was a race between Biden and Bernie, and she was in there just peeling away whatever votes that would have went to Bernie. I'm not saying all of them would have, but certainly some of them would have, but none of them did.
She came in third in her own state just to fuck over Bernie. She would not drop out. It was terrible what she did. She straight up snaked him. That's fucked up.
It was the opposite of what we saw with Brad Lander and Zohran Mamdani. Because listen, you could say all you want that ranked choice voting made it possible. Brad Lander didn't have to drop out. He was able to still campaign while cross-endorsing Mamdani. But also, there was a very clear point where Brad Lander wasn't stupid. He knew he wasn't winning. He stayed in to make sure that his voters actually went out and voted. And by doing so, they would put Mamdani second. Like, Brad Lander was not under some sort of fucking belief that he was still going to pull it off. He knew. But he did. Yeah. He did and he continuously defended Mamdani against the Islamophobia attacks. And as the highest ranking Jewish official in New York City, because he's the comptroller, it was super important of him doing that. He was totally a team player and the perfect example of someone who is a progressive. We might not agree with him with everything. He's not really like a leftist, but that's a progressive we can work with and be united with.
Right. Kowalski says Central Nebraska on average gets 4 inches of rain in June. Last night we had 8.5 inches of rain. Jesus. I miss normal weather. Elect me senator and I'll fight climate change and the rest of the Senate who oppose me. Kowalski, I will absolutely support your campaign if you run. 1000%. You have my endorsement. Strivy says, I'm scared to hope for Zohran because of capitalism. I am too. I'm worried about getting my heart broken again. I feel your hesitation. Rachel says, only 2 MA reps who voted to impeach Jim and Ayanna. Doesn't surprise me, honestly. Okay, last one for me. This is from Arenza. You see Ethan Klein threatening to sue Shonda Black unless Taylor Lorenz and Kat apologize to him. Yeah, I don't even know what to say about that situation. This just feels like bullying, using your wealth to try to get your critics to shut up. It's just so, it's gross. There's nothing else to say about it. It's just so fucking
scumfuck behavior.
Yeah, because these people, he's threatening them with financial ruin. They would go bankrupt without a GoFundMe to defend themselves, and they're still probably gonna have to foot a lot of the bill. It's really sad that he's done this because I really never thought, even though I was a fan of him, he wasn't perfect, but I never would have thought that he would do what, the bold guy did to him and sued him because it nearly ruined him. And I really felt a lot of sympathy for him and Hila who had to go through that. And the fact that he's trying to do this now, or at least threatening to, it's so sad. It's genuinely sad. So everybody should support, Casey Tron, Dems, Frogan, and Shonda Black, I guess, if this happens. I don't know anymore. It's just, I'm so disappointed. It's just such a sad situation. Okay, there's one last one.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I thought you were done. I was going to say before Matt starts, I just had one that came in, and it's a point I actually want to address. So, but
okay. Yeah, I just have one quick one. This is the last one from me from Tiger. It says, Chris sounds like a Fed. No, Chris isn't a Fed. We just have a disagreement, but that's okay. That's okay. Okay, one more came in just real quick. I'll read this. Strivy, you think they'll try having Zohran assassinated? I don't think like the establishment would try that, but I do fear for him because of all the Islamophobia. Okay, I'm sorry, Lance, take it away.
Thank you very much, Karina, for becoming a member, and thank you for the $5 dono from Snorcerer with the question, with Colbert, what do you think about Majority Report's take that maybe they were asked so that you put on the sides for the Boomer and Gen X lib audiences? Yeah, people were sending me that. I strongly disagree. I don't know if you saw the entire interview. I watched it in its totality. Colbert could have done that in a much different way. He could have been like, first off, that question just should not dominate a New York mayoral election. It's really weird that it does. But when he came on there, he asked it and then repeated it and then started doing so much other stuff. Like he was doing dual loyalty tropes. He was asking him, he was comparing the Charlottesville neo-Nazis to pro-Palestinian protesters. He kept on going. He actually asked him, he's like, you're going to be the first man who could potentially be the first Muslim mayor of New York. How are you as a Muslim going to connect the Jewish community and the Muslim community in that city? Like, I think it was beyond disgusting how he kept on doubling, tripling, and quadrupling down on that same point. And then at the very end, he was doing the other things to try and make him look bad. The whole, like, what do you think about cops? Do you want to defund the police, kind of stuff, where it's just like, all the credit goes not to Steven, it goes to Zohran for just like doing a masterclass in how to answer those questions and appeal to normie voters, old people who might be watching. That's what you should be impressed by. Steven Crowder was an absolute monster in that interview.
Steven Crowder, wow, you just called Colbert.
Sorry, Colbert. Freudian slip.
I thought you were talking about Cenk at first when you said that because I was replying in the chat. I thought that. Because when you said he compared Zohran to Charlottesville or Palestine to Charlottesville, I'm like, Cenk did that? God, this is a new level. But then I'm like, oh, as you talked about, I'm like, oh, this is the Colbert.
Sorry.
Yeah, the Colbert thing pissed me off. Disgustingly racist from Colbert.
It was,
Fuck him.
I don't know about that belief that because he came at him. It didn't come across as even like I'm just asking questions, doing my job here. He looked like he honestly didn't like him. It was very weird.
He didn't laugh at his joke. He didn't smile. He kept on being like, but you have to understand why many people would see this as anti-Semitic, right? And you don't approve of violence, do you? And things like that. You're like, what the fuck? Why are you like just repeating this? He gave you the answer you wanted, right? Like, and now he's going to give you an even better one.
Yeah. It was
before
bizarre.
You start, Matt,
it's especially bizarre
because
John. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say it's especially bizarre because Jon Stewart, who Colbert was like tied to the hip with when they had both had their shows at the same time. Jon Stewart's probably been the most critical mainstream voice on Israel. And to hear Colbert attack the idea that like you can be critical of Israel was insane because Jon Stewart's still out there. God bless Jon Stewart, like literally being that voice that's speaking out against Israel.
Yeah, Lance, your comment about, I think it was you that said this, that was like, is he still doing the bit where he pretends to be a reactionary? Like that hit hard because it's like, what the fuck? I haven't seen Colbert in a long time, to be fair, but was I just more liberal when I watched him? Or has he gotten worse? I don't know what
Well, since he started that talk show, he's gone extremely lib, but that his talk show is very different than his persona used to be as that character, right? Like that's we all fell in love with that character more than we did him as a shitty late night host. We have enough shitty late night hosts that all they do is serve as advertising when you're not watching the ads. You're either watching an ad on TV or you're watching a late night host be like, tell me about the project you're working on. This is definitely not a commercial. Oh, thank you so much. I have a funny story as a celebrity about how I was on a plane and then I didn't like the food, and also go watch my movie. Not a commercial. All right, let's go watch our movie. Now the commercials. I hate that dynamic. Except for Conan. Conan's funny. But
Conan is funny. Yeah, he's the one exception, I will say. Okay, I have two. I have one that came in and I missed one from Albert. Let me read that and then I will get to yours. Sorry, Matt. Or we'll get to yours. Sorry, Matt. Albert says, did you hear that the husband of the Cuban singer of I Will Vote for Donald Trump was deported? His deportation was expedited. Yeah. I heard that he was deported. I didn't know it was expedited. That
whole thing is not true.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not true.
Yeah, it was going around
Oh.
like one of those like liberal like Facebook like fucking fake stories. It's not true.
Okay, because I didn't look into it. I saw people talking about it, but I didn't do any research. Okay. So this is the last one I got from Roiga, who says, Zohran was at like 1 million Instagram followers a few days ago. Now he's at 2 million. Hell yeah. I think Cuomo Adams will split the vote in November. Random, but I met Matt canvassing for Jamal Bowman last year. Better result this time. Yes, much better result. Okay. I'm sorry, Matt. It is now your turn. I took up way more time than I intended.
That's all good. No, don't worry about it. It's just little old me. Tokyo Hans with a super chat. Congrats to New York. According to the news, New Yorkers have all been forced to recite the Shahada. Is this accurate? Also, Zohran's win has proven the youth bloc of the party can win big. Pelosi, Cuomo, 2028. Right, yeah, we are living under Sharia law here now. We got to recite that. We got to wear everything that the right wing thinks we got to wear. They're executing billionaires in Central Park. It's just total chaos here, obviously. Charlie the Ginnemer, member for 23 months, super chat. Notice how the Democrats aren't playing dead when it comes to the left, right? Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Kirsten Gillibrand so
animated,
like outraged and animated. Wow, good to know that. That's what. What's his face? Mike just left. Yeah, perfect point, Charlie the Ginnemer. I've never seen Kirsten Gillibrand so animated before. Ndungu Kamau. I'm sorry if I'm messing up your name. I think I got your first name though right. Ndungu. I think I might have gotten that right. New Yorkers need to be prepared. Wall Street will attempt to implement a structural adjustment program against working class people as soon as he wins. Mamdani must develop a backup plan for economic warfare. I don't know what you mean, honestly. But $20 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
For $20, you should pretend to know what they mean.
Yeah, I think I agree. Yeah. J-Rod B with a super chat. Permission to officially change the term Karen to Kirsten. Yeah, she's being a real Kirsten. Absolutely.
That's actually a good idea because I feel like the non-Karen Karens maybe deserve a break. Like people who are actually woke, they happen to literally have the name Karen and have had to live through.
Right. Ryan Chen, who had the worst night, Ramos or Torres? Oh, Jessica Ramos had the worst night easily. Imagine this. Imagine you are a progressive politician, state office in New York. And you have this petty feud with the Democratic Socialist, the DSA. And you have this petty feud with AOC because you feel like she should have endorsed you or whatever. I don't know all the mechanics of why Jessica Ramos hates the DSA so much as a progressive. It's very weird. I know it's some petty bullshit. And then you run for mayor and no one cares. And then you see all these other candidates run for mayor and you think you're going to be in there with them, part of the crew, one of the team, and the Working Families Party comes out with their endorsed slate and you're not there. And then you super pettily go to the Working Family Party rally for their mayoral candidates and film a video complaining. And then apparently you come across a Mamdani canvasser who doesn't know you're Jessica Ramos, and you get pissed that they tried to sell Zohran Mamdani on you, even though you're a mayoral candidate yourself. And all of these things. But again, you're supposedly a progressive. You represent a very working class, immigrant populated Hispanic community in Queens. And you fucking decide to endorse Andrew Cuomo at the time where Mamdani seemed to be gaining some traction to sort of kneecap that. And on top of that, people should know she endorsed Cuomo. It wasn't a cross endorsement. In fact, Andrew Cuomo at the endorsement event was asked, and he said it out loud so everyone knew. I want to be clear. I'm not endorsing her. She's endorsing me. And then you still came out and consistently at all the Cuomo rallies said how Cuomo was the best one to defeat Donald Trump, and you really thought that you had it in the bag. You were looking out for your own behind. Apparently, she has like tens of thousands of dollars in both campaign and personal debt, and she was like, tying her wagon to the horse to the wagon, or whatever the phrase is. You do all this. And fucking the guy you thought couldn't win, who you, for some personal reason, was pissed that he took your thunder as the progressive in the race. And she told Cuomo to resign. And back when he resigned, she was one of those people. She was
Did
how
she
despicable
really?
Cuomo was, how despicable he was, how he needed to resign. And even in the months when she's running for the mayor, she's asked about Cuomo, and she's saying, I will never endorse Cuomo. He's disgusting. I don't agree with him at all. And she still fucking endorsed him. And then you're in that room. There's a really funny picture of her in that room when it becomes clear that she's lost, that Cuomo is lost. All that, your career's over. No progressive is going to get behind you. You're done. You're done. Maybe she gets to stick around if her constituents really like her and want her to stick around. At the same time, I should point out that her entire district voted overwhelmingly for Mamdani. Here it is. Here's the picture of her reaction to where could I put this up? I'll just put it up on my screen here. This was her election night. look at her face. She's very concerned.
That's great.
The whole thing was petty, about pettiness, that she thought she would be the progressive. And the Working Families Party didn't make her one of the 5 on the endorsement slate. And so she endorsed Cuomo, a guy she's demanded resign. Fantastic. Easily, she had the worst night. No doubt about it. Torres did not take that many L's. I mean, I think it's impossible to take as many L's as she did. Ryan Chen with another $5 super chat. Jamal Bowman calling Richie Torres a whack motherfucker on Breaking Points last Tuesday was amazing. I think he was a little hammered. Yes.
Hell
so
yeah.
He was asked about, what message this sends to Schumer and Jeffries, and he's going off on the establishment. And then someone says, what about Richie Torres? And he goes, Richie Torres, he's completely inconsequential. He's not consequential at all. Richie Torres is a whack motherfucker.
I love Jamal Bowman. I wish he'd run against Torres.
He should. And if he doesn't, Michael Blake, who is the other guy who cross-endorsed Zohran, who was running for mayor, he should run. Because actually,
yeah,
in 2020, when Torres won the seat, Michael Blake was one of like the dozen candidates running in that district, and he actually came in second place. So,
oh really?
Yeah. So Michael Blake, if Bowman doesn't run, maybe Michael Blake could, and if vice versa. And I hope they help each other out too.
Yeah.
Chris Birch, member for 4 months. AOC is the kingmaker now, not Bill Clinton or Jim Clyburn. I mean, certainly for certain races. I mean, the idea that Jim Clyburn was a kingmaker, I mean, was really only if you're running for president, right? Like, who cared about his endorsement outside of South Carolina? And obviously that matters when South Carolina is one of the first primary states in a Democratic presidential primary. So, like, the idea that Jim Clyburn had any like national sway beyond national politics was always ludicrous. Like, why would people in New York City care about what a South Carolina moderate Democrat had to say? It made no sense. This one with a $10 super chat. BRB, checking my closet to make sure Eric Adams isn't hiding in there with a bag of coke and a gun. He might be secreting in there. Ugh. I can't believe he said the word secrete. It didn't even make any sense. It didn't make any sense.
I'm glad he said it though, because it was funny.
Yes.
Never heard it used that way before.
Right. Archangel with a $10 super chat. What are your guys' thoughts on Trump Justice Department's Emil Bove telling their lawyers to basically disregard judicial rulings, and now he's up for appointment to a circuit judge position? I got to be honest. My focus this entire week has been on the New York City mayoral election. I could not commentate or tell you what the fuck is going on a federal level, on a national politic level. None of it has mattered to me as much as this race. And I mean, it makes sense. I'm a New Yorker, but I think a lot of people feel this way too, honestly.
I did follow this a little bit. I believe he's referring to a leak about, it was a whistleblower from the Justice Department. I want to say, I hope I'm thinking of the right story, that basically confirmed that like they were getting orders to disregard judge decisions. Not surprising in the slightest. It kind of confirms what we already suspected. So it wasn't like a bombshell in my opinion, but it still is really significant. I don't want to become desensitized to the authoritarianism, but yeah, kind of to Matt's point, I was also really focused on New York City. I mean, I am on the opposite side of the country, but just to get a win,
I don't even live in America.
Right, different country. Yeah, this has been occupying our brains. It's been nice to kind of
and by the way, press internationally was attacking Zohran. Like corporate capitalist liberal press was like the Daily Mail in Britain was posting articles about how he's a nepo baby and how his mom blah, blah, blah. Like, this is a mayoral race in New York. Like, what the fuck is this press in the UK doing this for?
I love the idea that Zohran Mamdani in a race against Andrew Cuomo was the nepo baby. His mom was a filmmaker. Andrew Cuomo's dad, literally the governor of New York. Yeah. Andrew Cuomo's first job in politics was running his dad's campaign for governor. The ultimate nepo baby. Andrew Cuomo's never held a job that wasn't the direct result of his father being the governor of New York.
Yep.
Insanity. Tokyo Hans with a super chat. Oh, actually, Tokyo Hans gifted 5 memberships to me. Thank you so much, Tokyo Hans. Kowalski with a super chat. Oh, wait, is this for me? I don't even know. No, this is not for me. Who is this for? It's not mine.
Oh, I think this was David. No. It's a different one.
I'll just read it.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
If Zohran is betrayed by the Democratic Party, there will be a man who goes full John Brown who will no longer send rotisserie chicken money to their favorite streamers. This is a promise.
Damn.
10 Lawn Gnomes for the super chat. Congrats on the infantata. Who said that? Who called it an infantata? Someone
it was
just
Morning Joe.
Right, an infantata. Yeah, I got a newborn infantata in the house. I got 3 kids. I'm trying to globalize the infantata.
I don't know why. That made me laugh so unreasonably hard when I heard that.
The infantata. I keep having kids because I'm trying to globalize the infantata.
It's so ridiculous. It's funny because he like, I don't know. He probably just misspoke, but to me, like, you could read it as him trying to remember all the attacks against Zohran and just trying to like spout them off to demonize him. I don't know. It was just funny.
Someone says it sounds like an Italian dish. It does. Hey,
it makes me hungry.
1 infantata with meatballs. Yeah. Hey,
can you come and put... my infantata.
Yeah, can you come and put some cheese on my infantata? Thank you so much. Don't bother me while I'm eating and enjoying my infantata, okay?
Oh, hey, Progressive Voices in the chat. Hey, PV.
Devil's Advocate This is not for me, but I'll just read it anyway, so we could finish up. Watch this space in my convo with Ben on Kendrick. Okay.
Kendrick.
Oh, Ken.
It?
And it says Ken. Or maybe it does. I don't know. Okay, I don't know what I'm. It's late.
I think
they spelled it wrong. To be fair. This is not for me either. But 10 lawn gnomes. Friendly reminder that J.D. Vance memes in the U.S. are somehow worse than Winnie the Pooh pictures in other anti-free speech countries, right?
Oh, that was for David. Right. He didn't start it. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. Then I'm just going to skip these if it's not for me. Rolando Capalleja. Thoughts on parliamentarian blocking Medicaid cuts? Hey, the parliamentarian finally comes through for something that isn't kneecapping progressives. How nice to see for once. I think they also... took out the something that attacked trans people, I think, if I recall. I can't remember. They took out a bunch of good stuff. I mean, they did a bunch of good things, and took out a bunch of bad stuff. That's what I meant to say.
The parliamentarian is going to be fired soon, I would imagine, because the Republicans aren't going to, that's not going to really weigh in.
Hey, you were supposed to kneecap the progressives. What are you doing going after the Republicans?
Yeah.
Do we gotta order you one round of infantata and the parliamentarian's gonna be called in for a meeting, being told they're about to be a made man, and they're gonna show up and see little bags on the Republicans' shoes, so they don't get them a little bit dirty when they make them, so to say. Hey, Sanity Plate with a super chat. Wow, I'm still talking in the Italian. I'll keep it up. Sanity Plate with a super chat. Let's see here. Hearing Trump use the word "fuck" uncensored may have ruined the term for me. No, it didn't ruin the term for me because we still got that same night. We got this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful fucking thing. Here, let me play this for you in my little box here. It's quicker for me to play it here.
Andrew Cuomo is in the past. He is not the present or future of New York City. Good fucking riddance.
Yeah. That was the same night that Trump dropped the F-bomb earlier in the day. So Brad Lander immediately took it back for us. Good fucking riddance. I love that. I also love how he said, New York City. I hope he really has to run against Dan Goldman. He will. I think
he needs
people
to,
are
yes.
thinking of the Richie Torres one because Torres is so disliked, but Dan Goldman is just as bad. And unlike the Richie Torres a primary, which would be a fight that Richie Torres could walk away from and win, Brad Lander, if he ran, would almost assuredly, like 99%, walk away with that seat. Dan Goldman would not be able to beat Brad Lander. Brad Lander's from that district. In the mayoral election, he got a bunch of votes in that district. I think he was neck and neck with Cuomo and Mamdani in his district. That would be his district, period. He just has to want it. I hope he does.
Yeah.
Let's see. Karina, thank you so much for becoming a member on YouTube. Really appreciate it. Kowalski, this one is for me from Kowalski. Matt, thank you for only taking my call on MR today. The audience doesn't know this, but they screen every call on IMs and specifically pass up on lame people. Not me. I'm too handsome, funny, and humble. Oh, yeah, that's true. We do that. Except I misread your area code and thought you were someone else. Let's go to Amateur Pod with a super chat. Mr. Mamdani, why do you refuse to apologize for the violence we like to imagine you're capable of? Yeah.
That's basic. Yeah.
Actually, it's more like, Mr. Mamdani, why do you terrorist, jihadist, Islamic pig, why do you keep saying so many mean things about the Jewish people? Yeah. It's which he doesn't ever say, obviously, because that's not what he believes. They really are doing the most Islamophobia I've seen since like the literal like post 9/11 era.
The Crusades. It is going to be worse than the Crusades. There's going to be a full-blown Inquisition. There are going to be Spaniards showing up at his like office demanding he try salted meats to prove that he's not a Muslim. That's how aggressively racist things are about to become.
Right.
Yeah. They're pulling up an older video that he did where he's talking about a stand that sold like halal, and he was talking about how halal meats needs to be cheaper or something like that. And they're just like,
it's a great video. It's a great video.
I use those as example how to actually like campaign and market yourself, because it's win-win, right? If you've lived in New York, you know how good those food carts are, and like if you get them for $2 cheaper, and the cart owners can have their licenses for $400, hell yeah.
It's really smart
every
to
little
actually
thing.
like to not use a generic thing like, oh, food prices are too high. No, to actually go out and be like, the fucking halal cart where you get your chicken over rice, and it used to be $8, now it's $10. Here's why, and here's how I'm going to lower it. It was fantastic.
Mm-hmm. But he says halal though, and he eats halal meat, so he's a Muslim. Isn't that scary? It's crazy
Yeah, that's
how...
not going to play in New York though, because literally everyone here eats from those carts. It's super popular.
Because they're 24/7 and they're everywhere, and it was only $8 per like. I was eating that daily.
Like
well,
there are certain
on
ones...
Twitter, it was that's what I saw some conservatives trying to do, like use his own video as like a gotcha. It's the levels of racism, like everything he does. It's like, oh my god, I just remembered he's a Muslim. Like holy fuck, you guys are feral.
It shows they don't know New York though. Eating from a halal cart in New York City, getting a chicken over rice. It's literally the equivalent of in Middle America them having a Big Mac. It is the most regular lunch meal people get. There are specific carts known for being extra good that there's fucking lines down the block for. It is not a thing that is like uncommon. It is like an everyday meal. That video 100% connects with New Yorkers. So anyone thinking that video is gonna hurt him is a fucking idiot and knows nothing about the city.
Probably a racist.
Yeah. I don't even know how to say your username. I don't even know if it's possible to pronounce your username. KSGNEJJNGNK with super chat. How could we organize against an NYPD mass strike? I mean, let's wait and see. I mean, they sort of did this with Bill de Blasio. I mean, they not so subtly actually like sort of threatened Bill de Blasio's kids, quite frankly. Maybe it's lucky that Mamdani does not have kids. Quite honestly, we'll see though. We'll see. I mean, I don't. If you are a cop, why wouldn't you want there to be a division hired outside of the NYPD to deal with mental health cases? Why do you want to be that guy?
They won't want that.
It's so stupid, right? Because it's
to pay
too
for
easy
it.
of a person to shoot.
Well, no, it's because they just don't want to lose any or have any challenge to their budget, their yearly budget. It's $11 billion. If you have someone who's like, if I took $1 billion of your budget and put it into healthcare services, the amount of people being shot and dying and like it would improve everything. There ain't no police union going to be like, oh, okay, yeah. They don't care about what's the interest of the people, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
ludicrous
though. It's ludicrous.
Zohran can respond by deputizing Antifa immediately. All Antifa members will take over as the NYPD.
True.
They won't like that.
Dog on the roof with a super chat.
Matt, reading that username just awokened my sleeper cells, as polite Jamie in my chat.
Oh, they were able to read it? They knew
No.
how to pronounce it?
You're saying it out loud. The joke is that it was a code word.
Right.
Around sleeper cells.
Okay. I don't know. I looked at it for a second. I was like, Polish, maybe?
I was going to say maybe Dutch or Swedish.
Dog on the roof with a super chat. Ethan also demanded an apology from a subreddit that makes fun of him. Absolute dweeb. But Taylor said, fine, I apologize just so you don't hurt someone. I'm not even following. I don't know what Ethan Klein's doing. I don't care about Ethan Klein. I don't care what the fuck he's doing. Like everyone should just ignore him, honestly. Dog Trio with the super chat. I watched 1,000 episodes of One Piece waiting for it to get good, and it just doesn't. Ooh, I don't know anything about One Piece either. A85 Ramos with the super chat. Bruh, she put so much shame on our name, LMAO. Invoking Claudia Scheinbaum during the debate and then pulling this corrupt, petty stuff is shameful. Are you talking about Jessica Ramos? Did she? I missed that full debate. I just saw clips, so I didn't see anything about her mentioning Claudia Scheinbaum. But I mean, she could have been someone who had a strong seat, her seat as a progressive, local, statewide politician for as long as she wanted it, and she just threw it all away. It's just what a fucking horrible strategist. Horrible strategy. Rega98 with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Some tea. I was on NY Pan Zoom with the candidates earlier this year and asked the chat about how Ramos's feud with AOC, and she saw my question and crashed out. Everyone on the call was shocked. No chill. Wait, I gotta know now. This I want to know more about. What happened? What did she? What do you mean? But you gotta tell me more. How did she crash out?
I have no idea.
Oh, I gotta know. I gotta know the goods here. All right, let's go to. Oh, that's it for me. There's 2 more super chats, so I don't know who they're for.
Oh, nice. All right, who are we rating? Oh, let's rate Caroline.
Wait, let me just. I'm gonna read these because I don't know.
It's already happening. You gotta go fast.
Is the red? Ben's plan assumes that Dems want to win. The Dems are the enemy. And Rowan Chandler. I wonder if Zohran will ever be in a Broadway play on SNL or be in Daredevil to be the new mayor. He certainly has a cute smile. Over on Twitch for me, really quick. Thank you so much, Anonymous Gifter, for giving out 5 community gift subs. Thank you, Looney Tunes 9000, resubscribing for 6 months at Tier 1. Subscribe for 18 months. 18 months strong. Hell yeah. I'm also becoming an uncle next week to a little nephew a week or 2 after you become a dad of 3. Thank you so much. And that's it for me. Who are we rating?
Caroline Kwan, spelled Caroline just like the regular name, and then KWAN. She is a very awesome, prominent leftist, political, and entertainment streamer.
Did you already rate her?
I just hit rate now.
All right, wait, hold on. I'm doing it.
I love you guys.
Wait, how do you spell her name?
Caroline Kwan.
CarolinKWAN.
Okay, I found it. I'm sorry. Thank you, Lance. All right, here we go. Yeah, I like Caroline.
T-types. Nothing profound to say. Just feels good to have some positive news for once. Thank you so much, T-types. And I am rating Caroline Kwan now. Thank you so much, everyone. Wonderful show. Great lineup today. Really one of our most fantastic episodes ever, I think.
Agree.
And we'll see you all real soon. I'm hitting that rate now button right now.
All right, everybody. Have a good week.